Hello, everyone. Welcome to DCU Daily. Here we are. We are back, and it is the start of the week, and we have so much for you guys today. So much for you guys. Well, the first thing is obviously the news. The news is the first thing we always get into, and we have some box office news. We have, Hoppers seems to be resurrecting Pixar, while The Bride remains dead. So we'll be talking about that. Although, speaking of The Bride, our special guest today, Lizz, who is back for the week, is going to be reviewing The Bride. Did she love it? Did she hate it? Well, we will have to see about that. Next up is MCU Weekly. We're going to be talking about Daredevil, Avengers, Spider-Man, Punisher, all sorts of stuff. Then we're going to be getting into award season. We have Writers Guild and Saturn Awards, some upsets, some surprises, and so forth. And then, of course, we have more Bidding War stuff. Even though it's complete with the wrong person in charge, we still have stuff to talk about, mainly about the lots. So we'll be getting into that. And then a bit of MovieTalk Madness. We're going to be talking about how Timothée Chalamet is a complete and utter dumbass, as the entire internet and the entire opera community has been clowning on him for the past couple days, and we are going to enter that fight as well. And then a couple other things in regards to Pixar, and apparently a third Conan movie is now officially greenlit, so we will see. As well as a trailer for Henry Cavill's upcoming Guy Ritchie film, so that's also very exciting. Then we have our quick hits. Tons and tons of quick hits, lots of Lord of the Rings and casting and all sorts of things. Good news, bad news, gonna get into all of it. And then finally, DCU Daily. Of course, ending it with our DC quick hits, and then a little bit more about Lanterns. But of course, all of that and more, let's get into it proper with the news at first.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. Number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot, right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Let's get into it, shall we? Of course, I am your host, John. Lovely to see you all. Here we are. Let's get into it. But first, before we do have Lizz to talk about all sorts of wonderful things. Hello.
Hi, everybody. How's everyone
How are you
tonight?
doing today, Lizz, on this wonderful, wonderful Monday?
Oh, I'm just ducky, thank you. Just ducky indeed.
Great. Not going to be talking about any bad movies, right, today, Lizz? No bad movies.
Don't know what you're talking about. Not at all.
Anyway, so let's showcase the chat. Swag fan, been a while, my guy. Nice to see you again.
Guy.
Dan is going to come when he fucking feels like it. Lizz is already here, so there we go.
What more do you need?
Hello. It feels like lots of sickness is going around. I know like 3 different people that are sick right now. So
Yeah, well, the seasons are changing. The temperature's changing. It's throwing a lot of people for a loop. I know.
Look up.
I feel y'all.
That's very positive thinking on your part.
Hey, there you
Also,
go.
Enterprising says hello. Says hi to me. Greetings, friends. Greetings, Ron. Fight for justice, as you always
Hey, everybody.
say. So, and then, Elite Easy as well. And then, of course, the first thing we have to start before we filibuster on introductions a little bit too long. First thing, apparently Hoppers is maybe resurrecting Pixar. I don't know. I haven't seen it, although pretty much me and my friends have been dunking on this movie for the past like year, or like whenever the fucking it was announced. Like, that sounds like a really stupid idea. And 2 people who watched the movie were like, "Oh wait, this is actually really fucking good." So now I'm kind of curious. I'm actually curious. Also, Dan's finally here. He finally bothered to show up. Hi, Dan.
Here he is. Hey, Dan.
Come on, I can't take the slander for too long. Like, whenever I feel like, okay. It's a bit of an exaggeration. But anyway, hello. How's
here we
everybody
are.
doing?
We got Hoppers to talk about. And then, of course, the Maggie Gyllenhaal's fucking punk rock, sex opera, feminist Frankenstein adaptation failed. Who would have thunk? The shitty movie is apparently shit. That's crazy. The movie that looked like shit and smelled like shit and sounded like shit, turns out, was shit. So, you know, oof. Big old oof.
By the way, we will, I'm sure you mentioned we're going to review the movie in a bit.
Yes.
So we'll get into it.
Yes, we will get into it.
But I did want to, and you know, after the review, we'll also talk about maybe why it failed, because there's a couple of like articles that have been written about it already and some very specific reasons that are being handed out. Did either of you guys see Hoppers by any chance?
I didn't see Hoppers, but I am hopefully gonna maybe see it sometime, because I don't think I have anything planned for this week. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. Hang on. What's this week? It's the I'm gonna be seeing Undertone this week, so maybe I'll do a double feature with that and Hoppers if I
there you go.
Match up the very different, like, you know, creepy horror movie and then kids movie about talking beavers. Very different vibes, but like I'll make it work. It's fine.
You always do, John.
By the way, so speaking of the box office, because again we're gonna like dig into this in every different angle later on. So is this the worldwide number? These are the domestic numbers,
the domestic
right?
numbers. I'll get into the worldwide numbers.
I mean, just for context, before we even go that far, they were predicting somewhere between 15 and 20 million for The Bride. It came in less than half that, which is, it's rare that a movie bombs this hard. And then, I mean, Hoppers, I think, Hello Movies, but Hoppers doing 46 million is, I think it's like the best start to a Pixar movie since Coco in 2019. Because they've had like ups and downs. Obviously, the pandemic, they were releasing movies on Disney Plus. So good for Hoppers. Although some of the things that, you know, the head of Pixar said recently, which I'm forgetting the name of, the current head of Pixar.
We'll be getting into that soon.
Yeah, that kind of brings the mood down a little bit. But you know, Pete Docter is the name I'm looking for. But anyway,
yeah.
Good for Hoppers. Look, I'm still excited to see Hoppers. I haven't seen it, but we'll definitely want to see it, and particularly for a lot of kids and stuff. Like, you're coming off of Zootopia too, like one of you guys were saying, 2 for 2 for Disney Animation. I mean, this is Pixar, but still like under the House of Mouse.
Yeah, and it's an original movie. That's also very exciting. Not a sequel or
like
remake or, you know.
Yeah, and by the way, like
apparently, according to the people I know have seen it, it's not just shitty Avatar. Like, they're like, it's not just Avatar for kids. It's not like how Cars is Doc Hollywood for kids.
No, I think this is going to be
movie. It's its own thing.
I think this is going to be a surprise, like The Wild Robot. I mean, I was not that jazzed for The Wild Robot, and wow, they totally turned me around with that film. So I have a feeling this is going to be something along those same lines.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, as far as Hoppers goes, it is definitely, you know, not just 2 for 2 for Disney. On the side of The Bride, Maggie Gyllenhaal, this is only her second movie, featured movie, because like the first one she did was only for 5 million, and I know like Enterprising was pointing out she's never gonna get another shot again. I mean, Warner Brothers with Mickey 17 lost a ton of money last year before they've been on a winning streak. So,
well, and listen, the directing wasn't the problem in The Bride. Let's start there. So,
again, and we'll like Liz, we'll let you get into that in much more detail. But like the point, I was just gonna say, like, I think Maggie Gyllenhaal, yes, 80 million, 90. I think 90 million is what they spent making this movie. Another like 60 or 80 million, and then another 65 million promoting it.
I mean,
so
Maggie Gyllenhaal also wrote it, so she is the problem. So.
I was getting there, John. I was getting
yes.
there. Don't beat me
We
to the
will-
punch now.
We'll get but what I'm trying to say is, but like 145 million is what Warner Brothers are supposedly in for with this movie, which is they're not probably going to make that much money back, or certainly not enough to make that like break even, given where it started. So yeah, will Maggie Gyllenhaal get another budget like this sometime soon? Will another studio executive take a chance on her like this? She might have to like move back to like something that is somewhere between 5 and 80 million, but like on the lower
Well, it's like
end.
what Ava
particularly
DuVernay did after Wrinkle in Time failed.
Yeah,
Oh,
particularly because like it's a
Wrinkle in Time
horror
was trash,
movie.
though.
Like horror, I was
Wrinkle in Time
reading
trash.
through a lot of this, and we'll talk about maybe why it failed. But like horror movies of the ilk usually don't spend $80 million like on their the spend,
And also,
unless you're
it
guaranteed
wasn't
to
a
make.
horror movie at all.
Yeah, although I mean it's kind of like somewhat advertised like it.
It's ridiculous.
Jared Leto's
But-
Honka Honka Joker fucking Bride movie, so it's like whoops.
Yeah. By the way, love over the hedge. Always will love over the hedge. Hello, Fiona. Moderator Fiona is here. I was just talking to her. But yeah, I mean, I think Maggie Gyllenhaal still very much has a future as a director, especially even at the studio level. But like you said, John, maybe what Ava DuVernay said, kind of maybe a smaller budget movie, maybe not as such a high profile film. I'm sure actors will want to work with her, like Christian Bale, Jesse Buckley. I will say, when we talk about this later, the release date is also a little suspect, although maybe some of it has to do with like not releasing right next to the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. Hunter Iggy, we'll talk about that later, don't you worry. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of curious. Maybe they thought that this movie will get the rub from Jesse Buckley's so far undefeated run in the Best Actress category and all the award shows leading to the Oscars, and she's the lead in this movie, so maybe, I don't know. But I mean, 88 million worldwide, 13 million for The Bride. Question for you guys: do you think there's any kind of recovery potential here for The Bride, or do you think it's dead in the water like Fall Guy was?
No, let's see, the difference between this and Fall Guy is word of mouth, right? So Fall Guy
Yeah.
wasn't a bad movie. It was enjoyable to watch. I think just the timing for its release was not great. People were still like, oh, I'd rather just stream it. I'd rather just stay home. Whereas now word of mouth is going to be The Bride is a fucking terrible film.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to keep people away. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, John, anything? I mean, do you think like it has any chance? Because like just to kind of like
I
lay
don't
out
think
the map, Hopper's.
It's not the movie that people
Yeah.
are really like looking for nowadays. It's just like it's not. It's from what I've heard, it's not a good movie. Like out of everybody I know who has seen this movie, and from like all the stuff I've read online, all the people I follow on like Letterboxd, which is like a couple, like I don't know, a couple dozen people. I know one person that liked the movie, and that one person thrives on being a contrarian. So
They probably like
it's
Baby Girl too.
I don't know. I don't think he ever
We-
watched it, but he liked Joker Folie à Deux, so that.
Oh, I know the person you're talking. Okay, you've talked about this
Yikes.
person before.
Yeah, so he likes to be a contrarian, so that's essentially, it's like, all right, and like, he like gave like Fantastic Four a 5 out of 5. It's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So that doesn't matter to me. It's just, but like everyone else,
It did
it's
get
just
a
like,
C. Yeah.
the most positive score I've seen it like outside of him is like a 2.5 out of 5, which is not very positive to me. So,
Yeah.
and to be fair,
It's
I
like
like
that.
Folie à Deux, but like for very different reasons. So, I just thought it was a well done movie, but even then, it's not like amazing or anything. But it does have a lot of problems, but that's beside the point. It's just, I don't think The Bride is a movie that people like just want to see. It's like, I think maybe delaying it was the issue, because it did get delayed. It was supposed to come out last year, but then it got delayed, I think, because it didn't want to
They didn't want to run up against Frankenstein.
Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which is
Yes.
an actually great movie. So
Which, look, theatrical. That movie came out on Netflix. It only played in theaters for a very brief period of time.
which is like, it just goes to show how unfair the world is. Like this, like schlock fest piece of crap. It gets theaters, but then an actual amazing piece of art that gets fucking nominated for all kinds of awards doesn't get a theatrical experience for most people. So it's like, come on, man! Like really, Fucking bullshit.
Well, it's I wish that the Frankenstein could have had a full theatrical release, but I mean it's a Netflix movie, so at the end of the day, maybe the movie wouldn't even exist with the way it does if they didn't have the budget and the backing that Netflix gave it outside of a theatrical release, of course. But
this is a complete aside, but I have a feeling Netflix is going to start buying up like failing movie theaters, and there's going to be like Netflix theaters coming soon. Like
they've already done a little bit of it.
Headed. I really do.
They've got like a few iconic ones. Like, don't they have one like big one in Paris? They got like one of the big ones in LA. I forget the one that some of you guys in the chat might know, but like they've already got a few of those like it where they. Because you remember when the Stranger Things came out, like, and it was like for free. Well, you know, the finale. A lot of those screenings were at their theaters. I mean, obviously, but there's very few of them, so they did screen at like the bigger chain ones as well. But I mean, you know, Amazon taking over Whole Foods, not quite analogous. Because, like, for example, Netflix just pulled out of supporting whatever the name of the brand was that Meghan Markle had, the home brand. Like, I didn't know what the hell Netflix was doing backing that. With love, right. I don't know what the hell Netflix was thinking getting into that business, but like, whatever. And by the way, to kind of answer Fiona's question, I'm sorry, Fiona, I should have told you this before, but we did do the Nightwing fan casting on Friday. I was busy chasing around.
We did
my
two
cats.
of them. We did one like episode 6, and then now
like we actually now have done 2.
Will.
But Hudson Williams was definitely a big part of it, and he's probably one of the front runners at this point.
I talked about his ass, so there you go. I got your heated rivalry stuff in there.
Anyway,
by the way,
let's go here.
I just want quickly kind of wrap this part of the segment. Next week, we will probably still see Hoppers at the top of the box office, but then the following week, I think we end up in a situation where you're gonna see Project Hail Mary come in and just run roughshod over the box office.
Oh, hell
deservedly so. Deservedly so, because like that movie is gonna blow everything away.
Start early, fellas. Let's fucking go.
I mean, I feel like Ken is already gonna be in the running early for the best, you know, actor in a leading role Oscar this time around with Ryan Gosling, and maybe for the first time ever, like an all CGI character could be best supporting actor.
He is enough. Thank you, John. He is.
He's just Ken. Anywhere else, he would be a 10. But you know, is his life just blonde fragility? Anyway, whatever.
No.
I thought I remembered.
No, you didn't. No, just it's okay.
It's okay. Well, you know what? Let's move on from the box office because Liz saw the movie, so let's talk about The Bride.
Yeah.
Proper.
The motherfucking Bride.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, too late, honey pie. You're gonna have to fucking talk about it because here we are.
John, that's nice. Listen, I will say for the DC fans out there, our boy Zaltko Burek, how the hell do we say his name? He's in it. We just saw him in Wonder Man. Before that, he was in Superman. So good for him. He's making the rounds. They actually cleaned him up and combed his hair this time, which was shocking. But you guys, okay. I could have had this movie poster. When I walked in, they had it. I said, "Oh, I'll get it on my way out." When I walked out, I said, "No, I don't want it. I don't want that poster. Thank you." So here's okay. Directing wise, it was not bad. Maggie is a good director. It's cute that she always casts her entire family in things. It was great to see Jake, but the writing was so god-awful horrific. It was so bad. At points, characters would start speaking as if they were in the middle of a conversation, and we already were supposed to like assume and know where they were coming from and what they were talking about. Very bizarre. But let's just start with the overall tone of the film, right? So at the very beginning of the film, the ghost of Mary Shelley possesses this Ida, who is played by the actress Jessie Buckley, as we all know. We all love her, Hamnet. But so all of a sudden she is going into these fits as Mary Shelley is trying to take over her body, and she goes in and out of this like Chicagoan accent to a British accent very well. I mean, seamlessly. As we know, Jessie is an amazing actress. But that was already a really weird tone to set for the film, the very start of the film. I was like, oh, all right, that was a choice. Okay. Turns out Ida, Jesse's character, was a mafia informant for the Chicago Police Department, and ends up getting killed kind of in an accident, some weird, she just falls down a flight of stairs, and Frankenstein happens to show up in Chicago at the doorstep of a renowned scientist, says, "Hi, you might know me, I'm Frankenstein," and she's like, that would make you over 100 years old. And he's like, "Yep, you got it, thanks. By the way, I'm really horny and I haven't had any action since I was reborn, so I'm gonna need you to find a corpse and make me a girlfriend." Cool. So again, all of this is a very just really weird start to everything. So the bride is possessed by Mary Shelley's ghost and then murdered / killed by accident, and Frankenstein shows up and he's horny as hell, and just any chick will do. Annette Bening plays the scientist. She's very intrigued by all of this and is like, "Cool, you know what, yeah, let's do this. Let's just see if it's possible." They dig up this recently deceased gal, and Frankenstein's like, "Wow, wait, hold on, she's too hot for me. I don't know if maybe let's get some Uggo. Let's dig up some Uggo somewhere else. Let's put her back." And Annette Bening's like, "It's too far, gang. We can't. We gotta. It's either her or nobody." "Oh, okay, fine. I guess if I have to be wrapped up with this hot chick, cool." What? Then it basically turns into like a Bonnie and Clyde of Frankenstein and the Bride, and Frankenstein is obsessed with this actor, this vaudeville actor played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Thank God for Jake, you're so hot. And so the two of them just drive from major city to major city to watch Jake Gyllenhaal's films. That's literally, and because she is a mob informant, and the guys that sort of killed her by accident are looking for her because they're in the mob, they can't have her speaking because, she's alive after all, what's going on? So now there's this hot chase for this Bonnie and Clyde, Frankenstein and the Bride situation. It's all, gang, it's as dumb as it sounds. That's all. It's as much as I can give you. And again, meanwhile, the bride is also, every so often, she's got Mary Shelley spouting weird shit. The whole thing is a fucking mess. It's such a fucking mess. I can't even begin to tell you. For some reason, as a female detective who isn't being taken seriously because she's got a set of tits and wears lipstick, okay, it's the whole thing. They were trying really, really hard to make it this female empowerment, almost kind of like what people were saying about Baby Girl, oh wow, it's so female forward and it's such a strong female character, and it's like, what? It's just ridiculous. And quite frankly, the entire time I'm sitting in the theater going, this is the most pompous fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's genuinely not to shit on film students, but it's a freshman film student production is what it is, where you just think everything that you write down is fucking brilliant. Your direction is the best. This is gonna change lives when people see my production and see what genius lies beneath. It's the whole thing is clumsy. It's uncomfortable. I would say it's laughable if it wasn't so fucking sad at how bad it is. It really bummed me out. This is the first film I've seen in a long time where the whole time I'm like, what are we doing here? And why? And what the fuck? So listen, see it if you want. I'm actually really upset. I was telling Dan this earlier. I really want to see The Protector with Mila Jovovich, but I know for a fact it's not going to be in the theaters for much longer. So I'm pissed off that I spent my one window of time seeing this film and not that. Because Jesus Christ, it's such a bummer. It's such a fucking bummer, gang. Out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. The costumes were great, cinematography was great, designs were great, everything looked really good. Like I said, the direction itself wasn't the worst, but the fucking writing and the whole premise, no, I can't. Just don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Don't.
Well,
So what you're saying is you don't recommend it
No.
to see in the theater or streaming.
And I saw it in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX. What a fucking waste.
I mean, Liz, you and I were talking about this over the last couple of days, and you were genuinely excited, and I was like,
I really was, and I was shocked that it was doing so
Although I'm
poorly
glad
because I was like,
Undertone
they've
is
been
doing
advertising
well.
it.
That's good.
But they were advertising it so well. I said it's impossible that it's doing so poorly. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it makes plenty of fucking sense now. Holy hell, you guys, this film. No.
Although I don't understand
what a letdown.
the positive reviews for Slanted. My friend just saw it and he said it was really bad.
Well, I mean, look, the thing about Rotten Tomatoes is, like, in terms of audience reviews, you have to be able to prove that you bought the ticket through Fandango. So, I did want to like, Liz, you were genuinely excited the last couple of days, and I was like, I hate to break your bubble, but like, people are just not going to see this thing, or they're just not liking it.
Speaking of Joker Folie à Deux, at some point, so in this scene in particular, she accidentally shoots a cop. And now all of these and this is the punk rock aspect of it. Now all of these women are getting ink splat tattoos on their face and wearing black lipstick and wearing a black veil, and they're going around shouting brain attack because that's something she randomly fucking says that makes no goddamn fucking sense. You guys, the writing is so fucking bad. Maggie, direct all you want, act all you want. Don't ever fucking put pen to paper again. Fuck me. Just so pretentious. Oh my Christ, I can't. I'm sorry.
So, okay. Which this was the first time. Is this the first time, or did she write her first movie? I don't know if she'd written both of the movies that she's done.
I think she's written before, but again, I really think she thinks she's one of the most, like, the strongest writer in the room, and it's like, babe, someone needs to talk to you. Like,
which... Look, here's the thing. I mean, look, I don't know if this is a matter of, like, I mean, I'm sure there's some level of, like, you know, oh, she's a Gyllenhaal, therefore, like, she will get to swing a little bit, a bigger swing, a more generous swing at it than somebody who's an unknown.
Who's also in the film. I mean, it's just.
Hey, D. Cole. Yeah, well, look, here's the thing. So the movie failed. And I mean, Liz, and obviously you're saying it's not,
babe, crash.
It's not worth the watch. I wanted to kind of like talk a little bit about maybe why it failed. I know some of us have been like, obviously there's the merits of the movie itself. Like, one of the things I'll mention right off the bat, and we'll get into the article here in a second. There was a big promotional tour. I mean, granted, not everybody was in a promotional tour. Jessie Buckley's really heavily promoting, her awards run with Hamnet, rightfully so.
Yeah.
A lot of what we saw was like Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal, like the other actors in the movie, and the director, of course, out there promoting it. Now, that being said, there was several instances. I even saw some video of this from one of the screenings where they did like a Q&A, where Maggie Gyllenhaal like spent a good amount of time talking up how the first screenings. I think, John, the other day when we went over the reactions to this, there was a quote in there from, I think, one of those screenings where Maggie Gyllenhaal like first kind of sets the stage by saying, and then even one of our friends, I think it was, like, that was quoted too, like the initial test screenings were really horrible, and then people were like, maybe like if one of our, I think it was Maggie Gyllenhaal saying that one of our friends was telling her, maybe if this movie was directed by a man, it would, people would have a different perspective on things, which at the time I was like, okay, I don't know enough about this to know like maybe what they're hinting at, but like, Liz, you talking about this kind of feels like it's misplaced, like the storytelling priorities are misplaced.
That's a fucking try hard excuse if I've ever fucking heard it. Like, they'd like it if it was by a man. No, dude, your writing sucks the film is the premise is fucking stupid. She makes Frankenstein like this like aloof like fanboy, like I said, following these Jake Gyllenhaal
and we already saw
around,
James Gunn do that and much better.
And it's I mean, really,
more nuance.
They make him to be this goofy, just love-struck fucking puppy. Like, it's just like he's helpless. Like, it's really ridiculous. It's just a shame. It's really, and again, this whole like idea of all of a sudden now she started this like female empowerment movement by accidentally shooting a cop. again, also none of it makes any fucking sense at all. Like what's your end game? It's not like these women are going
Because
around beating men in the streets or whatever. It's just they're wearing black ink blotches on their face and just mean mugging the camera. Like, okay, it's
yeah.
just, oh my Christ.
Well, I mean, going beyond just the writing and the direction and the acting, the movie is set to lose potentially 90 million or more. And then when you break down the numbers in the Deadline article, yeah, I mean, the bride got left at the altar is the one way to put it. But this movie was kind of meant to feel like this high art, art house kind of a movie, horror movie or otherwise. That's what it was.
Also, and that's also what makes it so fucking gross, because you can tell that was the goal, is like, let's see, like, it's my artistic, like, I'm so fucking sick of that shit. Like, I'm sorry. Save it for film school, babe. Nobody wants to see that crap on the big screen. They don't. I'm sorry. Like, maybe that's really rude. Maybe that's really fucking lowbrow of me. Maybe that's blue collar of me. But save it.
Yeah.
Save it for a fucking film festival. Don't be trying to put this out in Hollywood and say it's a blockbuster. Absolutely not.
It's just, I mean, I feel like now, like, it's one thing to consider. Like, I'll get into the because I do want to make a point about the financials of this, but I mean, Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdy, this is the second time they've had this happen, where maybe they put too much trust in a filmmaker. You always run the risk when you give a filmmaker almost a carte blanche with the budget, with the creative side of things. Like, they had this happen with Todd Phillips and Joker Folie à Deux. They kind of, I mean, they went even further with, like, giving the rights, reversing back to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. But I feel like with, like, maybe, like, I guess the question I'm trying to ask, Liz, is do you think this is indicative of that maybe Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy have been a little lucky that they've had a lot of good commercial successes the past year, most of which were not original movies necessarily, although some of them were, like Weapons was original, Sinners was original, and those ones hit it right out of the park. One Battle After Another actually was barely profitable, if at all. So that's actually not a good example of commercial profitability. And then Mickey 17 was a big swing and a miss. We talked, it was right around this time last year that happened. The Bride, I mean, Joker Folie à Deux before it. I guess I'm trying to figure out whether Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy were a little lucky with the winning streak, and their strategy isn't as bulletproof or isn't as, shouldn't be as wanted as it should be. But I mean, ultimately, you can't wipe out the fact that they had that 9 movies opening at the top of the box office streak, which is now over. But where do you stand on that? Do you think Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdy have sort of been a little more lucky than we're giving them credit for, or maybe inherently this is part of like when you have a strategy where you empower filmmakers and you give them this level of freedom, you will have hits and misses. Like, do you think that's just part of like how this is meant to be, or are they lucky? Are they doing their jobs?
So there's a couple of things that come into play here, right? My question first is the script that we got in this final film the script that they originally reviewed and said, yeah, this sounds great, you know what I mean? Also, what was the conversation they were having behind the scenes? Did Maggie Gyllenhaal sell the fuck out of her concept and make it sound completely different from what we ended up getting? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of other things that come into play before something gets greenlit. So I have a very strong feeling that the script was wildly different, that the sales pitch that Maggie gave them was something that she could probably sell them the Statue of Liberty. Wonderful for her, not great for the fucking audience. But I would imagine that once they saw the final cut, and as we alluded to, we had the initial screening and people didn't like the screening. Once they saw the final cut and realized there was not a thing they could do it from this point, a lot of people in the comments were saying the trailers were great, and the trailers were great. They advertised this thing pretty well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was their go-to, was like, well, let's just advertise the shit out of it. Let's just make a hell of a good trailer. Which, again, they did the same thing with Baby Girl, tried to make it a film that it wasn't, same thing here. The trailer really doesn't tell you any of the backstory of what's going on or what we should be expecting. And then you sit down in the film and it starts off, like I said, with her being possessed by Mary Shelley. And it's, oh, wait, what the fuck? Like, so the whole thing from jump was confusing as a person in the audience. So I think that's what they ended up doing, was saying, oh shit, we actually backed the wrong horse on this one, and now we're stuck. So at least all we can do is put out some great trailers.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a real, and again, like
Yeah.
you said, if you're going from a catalog, like how did you have Sinners on your
Exactly.
desk and then go and greenlight something like this? So
Well,
there's
The Bride was
things-
greenlit probably before Sinners.
Sure, that's true.
Because I think it
That's
was
true,
delayed
too.
by like a full year or something
Yeah,
like that.
sure, that's fair. But it, you know what I mean? So it is
Well, it's like it's
interesting
not
to
just
me
that,
how they
but
pick
Sinners
and
and
choose,
Weapons, and then it's like you
Yeah,
had The
yeah.
Bride, and then you actually like hit home runs with those two. But
Yeah.
then they also
We'll talk
thought
about that
Wuthering
later.
Heights was good.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? I liked Wuthering Heights. Again, I think it should be a completely different film. It should have been titled something completely differently, because from what I've understand, it's not
And
the story at all. But I really
problem with this
did
is
like that movie.
I will say the one sad part about this movie failing, and and Mickey 17 failing, is now it's like, oh, clearly women and people of color don't make good movies, so we're not going to greenlight those movies anymore. I
Which
have
is
a
also a shame, 'cause
strong
I really
feeling
enjoyed
that
Mickey
executives
17.
are going to take that lesson
Yeah.
as
Well,
well.
I mean, but also you have Sinners. You know, Sinners is a great example.
That is true. They do have that
it's-
one, but
it's-
it's just like, I don't know, like
The
But
one
I just-
off. That's what they're gonna say. It was the one off. It's the fluke. It's the.
I mean, and look, here's the thing: 28 years later, the Bone Temple was very
That
well reviewed. It failed, but like it was well reviewed. I think this.
because I love that movie
but
too.
they don't care about well reviews. They care about
No, I
money.
get. Right, but it's also okay. Here's the thing: the other thing. Now, I think this is where the numbers matter, because now that's where the conversation's going.
Bong Joon-ho
It's-
is a person of color since he fucking
Yes.
directed the movie, smart ass. Anyway.
Fair. Okay, it's a good point there to correct Eric. But okay, so what I was trying to get at is, with 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I mean, look, a movie can be successful in its theatrical run. It could be also successful post-theatrical. What they're looking at here is just on its theatrical run, not just on its theatrical run alone. Deadline is sort of doing a best estimate based on what they know about how the movie business works. And they're saying that with a budget of, and we'll talk about the 5 reasons why this movie failed, which I think Variety put out a really good 5 reasons why, but one of them definitely is financial, right? Obviously, like
This gives me a 13th reason why.
Um,
I'm just kidding.
but
That was
they're
dark.
saying
That
that
was
like
way
with
too
a
dark. I'm sorry about that. That
It's-
was way too
dude.
fucking dark. Anyway, continue.
with a budget of 80 million and a marketing budget of 65 million, even post theatrical, given how much money they're projecting this is going to make just in theaters alone, which is not much, but even post theatrical, all together, Deadline is predicting in their article that this movie is going to end up losing 90 million or more for Warner Brothers, which is a lot. That's a lot. That wipes out a lot of your gains from a lot of the movies they got last year, which, I mean, Final Destination made a huge margin of profit just in theaters, not to mention everything it made afterwards, because you have like your pay one window where it goes on HBO Max, which is paying money to yourself, but like still but no, I'm saying, but the movie was financially successful.
Yeah.
With The Bride, they're looking like altogether, they're predicting somewhere between 90, possibly more than $100 million in losses, which is a lot of money. I mean, I don't think 28 years later, Bone Temple is going to lose that much money, John. So I think to that point, I think it's still, you have, clearly, and Nia DaCosta is still over at Marvel. I think Kevin Feige is smart enough to know that with the way Marvel movies are produced, he knows better than anybody that the director can't always be the sole person at fault, because Marvel is a machine. So the director's influence is not nearly as much as something like this, where Maggie Gyllenhaal was, not only given a big budget, but she wrote and directed. It was an auteur's vision. It's kind of a movie. So I think those two scenarios aren't the same. So if you are worried that there won't be more, female and people of color like directors getting opportunities, I think we're kind of living in a world where less of that is happening as is, but I do think there will be more opportunities. I mean, they're still far and few in between, relatively speaking, but we've talked about Ryan Coogler's got, the Twilight Zone on the way, not Twilight Zone, that's the X-Files.
X-Files. Close,
and then,
but no.
Right. Yes. Jordan Peele's working on a couple other projects. I mean, the thing that he produced, that sports movie, didn't do anything. But he more or less just put a name on it. I don't think he was like really attached to it all that closely. But he supported that Dev Patel movie. So I mean, there's still progress, but it could be a lot better. Now, talking about The Bride specifically, let's go through the 5 reasons why Variety thought that it was dead on arrival. I think, Liz, some of these you already pointed out, but the reason one they said is the inauspicious release date, which, John, you pointed out. This song, I mean, and Liz, you can speak to it. It ends with the Halloween anthem, Monster Mash at the end in the credits. You would think this is a movie that you would be watching in October or November, right? But like there was the other Frankenstein movie, so maybe they thought this wasn't the right time.
Well, and again, you know, somebody kept alluding to it being like a horror film, and it's not. Like it's a mob movie, honestly, is what it really is. Frankenstein and the Bride as Bonnie and Clyde. Like that's really what the tone of and the overall theme of this film was, even though they're not like robbing banks or anything. They're just driving from movie house to movie house, and because people notice them and say, oh, you're monsters, then of course then violence happens and fights break out, and it doesn't, I don't think it mattered what the fuck time of year. I mean, yeah, you're not going to put it out at Christmas time maybe, but it also, Halloween was not really a factor in this one, in my opinion. And I think now that people are seeing it, they're recognizing that as well. I don't think the time of year would make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the idea. I think the other half of this was Warner Brothers has had some success with like the Batman Dune Part 2 this time of year in recent years, but I still feel like those two were much more recognizable properties. Those are apples to oranges. So while it makes sense you release a Batman movie or a Dune movie in March, I mean, Project Hail Mary is a big one coming out, this month. I don't think this was the best choice. I want to guess they were thinking Jessie Buckley is going to be in the awards trail, and she's been winning a lot, so maybe that would have an impact. But clearly, I don't think Jessie Buckley is like a star, like A-list star.
I mean,
so I don't think she
acted the hell out of it, like I said. But
yeah,
that's you can't put an entire film on one person's shoulders like that.
Yeah. I mean, you had Christian Bale, obviously, but like still, like you said, I maybe the marketing should have been different, because if it was a Bonnie and Clyde kind of a movie, which I'm, reading a lot about and I'm seeing a lot of images, and what you said, they should have given it like more fun trailers, make it feel like a Guy Ritchie movie, which we'll be talking about later. But like that would have been maybe the way to market it, maybe they just kind of, I don't know, maybe Maggie Gyllenhaal had some say over it potentially. I don't think she's the profile of director that would get that, kind of priority over the marketing team at Warner Brothers, that especially has had a really great track record over the past year. But John, you love Frankenstein. You also love Creature Commandos. And the other reason they mentioned in the Variety article, too much Frankenstein, too little time. Do you think people are getting tired of Frankenstein, movies related? There was also the Demeter or something. I saw that movie, the Voyage of the Demeter. That was the last voyage of the Demeter.
That was
a couple of years ago,
but so close.
But so sorry, never mind. But the point I'm trying to make is, I guess, are there too many Frankenstein things happening recently?
I mean, the thing is, I don't think people mind Frankenstein. It's just like, I think they just smell dog shit from a mile away, and they're like, "This is not what we want to see." It's just like some like I hate to sound like an asshole, but like I don't think people want to see like the punk rock feminist Frankenstein adaptation. Like they just see that and like, oh, that looks stupid, and then they
if it's done well, it's fine. But this thing was a hot mess.
But it's just like I feel like that's not what people really want to see. So I don't know. It's just misplaced like confidence, I guess. Like, oh, I'm gonna be God's greatest gift, and then it just turns out not to be the case. I think it's just like go back to smaller indie movies again. That's what Ava DuVernay did. Her Wrinkle in Time movie failed, and then she killed it with, I think it was, didn't she do Trial of the Chicago 7?
Which was a good movie,
and then a couple other really good indie. I think she did a documentary that was really good. So she like bounced back in the indie scene, like where she got her start. It's just like same with like Chloe Zhao, like like literally fucking did an MCU movie. It failed, went back and fucking didn't she do Nomadland? Wasn't that what she did?
Yeah. Yep.
Nomadland.
No, you're talking. Wait, Chloe Zhao. No, that was she did that before Eternals. Now she's done Hamnet. She did Hamnet.
But she did fucking Hamnet, and that's also nominated. So like, she fucking
and it's great. It's great.
Did an Oscar-winning movie, did a failure of an MC movie, went back to her roots, and now she's might be winning Oscars again. So like, it just goes to show like bounce back. other women did it before you, and I'm
Yeah.
sure other, like, it just,
Well,
I'm not
just
saying,
filmmakers
women
in
can't
general.
do big blockbusters. I'm
Right.
not saying that at all. I mean, Patty Jenkins is like the, cardinal rule of that, where, she did it and did it successfully.
Yeah.
But, it just, sometimes it's just, you think you're, like, a lot of, like, young talent, not really young talent, but, like, in the directing scene, Maggie Gyllenhaal is technically a younger talent. So, she, like, less experienced talent, let's go with that, and think you can't be touched, and it turns out you don't hit the ground running. Well, go back to what, like, because apparently her first movie was, like, really good, like The Lost Daughter, or whatever the hell.
It was, yeah, you're right.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That was apparently really good. So, like, just go back to doing that. Don't do big budget experimental movies, because sometimes they just don't hit.
It's a big risk. Yeah, I mean, and that was made for only 5 million. So I mean, there's a big gulf between 5 and 80. Maybe like you can do some. I'm sure like you can do a movie for like somewhere in the middle, and then like let that kind of build you. And again, the budget I think will be more dictated about what the story is, But like anyway, let's keep on going here. Budget gone wild. Speaking of which, I think we have covered this extensively. But like Sinners, like I mentioned, made $370 million globally on a budget of 90 million. This movie now is gonna probably not even break even with the 80 million, like just on that number alone, which was the budget, not to mention the marketing budget on top of that, which was almost as much. So I just think like they over indexed on this. I think Warner Brothers probably thought this movie was more of a surefire hit, and ultimately it's kind of failed in the worst way imaginable. It's not even like moderately failing, it's just absolutely flopping on its face. Like I think Universal took a huge write down for Fall Guy. This is kind of in that territory. I'd be wondering if like what Universal did, which Universal probably has some of the shortest release windows in all of Hollywood amongst the big studios. So like they had it on streaming a week after the movie came out, which is kind of ridiculous to think about. I don't think The Bride is going to end up on streaming.
And then Christopher Nolan holds a gun to their head. It's like, if you do that to any of my movies, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Christopher Nolan is like, he's like an exception to the rule under any studio now. But anyway, I think we talked about the budget. That clearly, I think 80 million is too much for a movie of this scale. Unless it was a guaranteed success. It wasn't a sequel, and it just didn't hit well. But a press tour that forgot to sell the movie. Also, a reason that we have talked about how Maggie Gyllenhaal spent a lot of time talking about like the test screenings not going well, and like how they have to kind of go and
because that's a movie I want to say. Hey, the test screenings for my movie sucked.
Yeah,
go see it. What?
I think that's like from a marketing standpoint, they were like, why are you telling people that? Like, that's the word. Like, you only talk about it if it went well, and even then, people are skeptical because they're like, it usually doesn't always turn out that the movie's great.
You only talk about it in terms of like Sonic, like, hey, this is what Sonic is going to look like. Everybody's like, fuck no, and then okay, we'll fix. Yeah. If you make it better, no problem. Then we heard you and we've changed some things, but God, I can't imagine what the first version looked like. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, and then the last thing, I think one of you guys mentioned it right off the top, audience rejection did get a C+ cinema score, which most, if not every movie that has ever got a C+ cinema score, you can imagine like that means people ain't coming back to see it, and then people are also not going to be telling anybody else to go see it. So
yeah, and considering how easy it fucking is to get an A or a B cinema score, that's saying a lot. So
Yeah, the reviews were. I mean, the reviews aren't good. The Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, the 73% audience rating. I think like with Rotten Tomatoes, what I look at when it comes to audience, the popcorn meter, if it's anything below a 90 or 80, especially below an 85, then you gotta worry, because usually with audiences, like they'll overwhelmingly love something, or they will, some maybe not like, because you gotta remember, most people that really hate the movie don't review it.
Categorized as positive reviews, because I've seen like 2 different movies, and this is where the whole thing of like, Disney buys their reviews on Rotten Tomatoes thing comes from, because it's like, it is kind of suspicious how certain movies have like a 3 out of 5 that's a positive, and then other movies, they have like the same type of like review, it's a 3 out of 5, but it's negative. It's like, how the fuck does that work? 3 out of 5. Anything above a 5 out of 10, 2.5 out of 5, that should be positive. But sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. It's just like, how the fuck does that make sense?
But I think that's more to do with the imperfect nature of like reviews in general, because the way Rotten Tomatoes works, the critic who who writes the reviews and submits it to Rotten Tomatoes, they get to choose their score. So for one person, a particular review might mean 6 out of 10. The other person could talk about the same movie and in a similar manner, but like they might be thinking that review, which might sound the same to you, equals a 4 out of 10. So it's up to the reviewer themselves how they rate it, which is also why some reviewers give it like an A+, others say 3 out of 5, others say 7 out of 10. Like they don't even have the same like in Rotten Tomatoes, like has to aggregate all that into like some kind of percentage number, and then kind of bring it together into like what percentage of people thought it was a good movie versus bad. But we've always talked about it's just a percentage of people that like the movie versus not. Like 73% relatively positive, that means 27% relatively negative of the 500 plus audience reviews, but that's still a small sample size. So, but anyway, I think we'll leave it there. Obviously, The Bride is dead on arrival. I don't think is gonna make a comeback anytime soon, unfortunately. And I think you guys agree. And Liz, especially yourself, you saw the movie, so sorry that you wasted your time, I guess. But
I see him, so you don't have to, gang. I'm just that's
Project
the silver
Hail Mary.
I'm sticking with,
Project Hail Mary. You got to look forward to that.
Wait.
So,
yeah.
But we'll let you guys kind of get into the comments down below. Let us know what you thought about The Bride. If you saw it, if you didn't see it, are you
don't see it,
any less or more likely to see it now?
Go see The Protector. Go see movies that do what they say on the tin. You know what I mean?
Go see Hoppers.
Yeah.
Go see Hoppers.
Go see Hoppers. And John's telling you to do that. He was not happy about that movie at all.
Yeah. Go see Hoppers. Go see Undertone. That's coming out Friday.
Yeah.
Go see the I'm seeing the early screening of Project Hail Mary.
Turtles: Secret of the Ooze anniversary showing this weekend at AMC. Gang, I will be there. My favorite TMT movie. Hell yeah.
Isn't that the one where they like made it like
Ice?
overly child friendly and then it became kind of crappy?
It's not kind of crappy. It's amazing. I don't know what you're
Watch
talking about.
anything but Scream 7. I don't know about
Also,
that.
you guys stop it with that. Scream 7 was good. Shut up. Anyway. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
John did not think so. But okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's move on to
ever. I didn't bother. But
let's
talk about
let's
good
move on
things
to
now.
Marvel. Let's talk about Marvel.
Yeah, let's talk about Marvel because let's get into that because Kingpin. Hey, look at him right there. Goddamn. But Daredevil Born Again Season 2 poster teases classic Kingpin. New Karen Page details revealed. So, like, damn. All right, bro. Calm down.
The Karen Page thing is a little bit of an overpromise, I tell you that.
But here he is in his classic white suit, which isn't getting stained because of the blood red rain, but okay.
Right.
But it's a good looking poster.
It's an artistic choice, Yeah.
I like the rose. I think that looks nice.
I do like the rose too. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that'd be too close to home. I don't think Caleb will be doing that anytime soon. But Deborah Ann Woll was talking about her character too. I don't know, John, did you read this? Like, she was kind of talking how like they're both kind of like Matt and Karen are both kind of like loners, so they're pretty much like the only other person that they have left. So the dependence and reliance and a support of one another that will be interesting to see how that plays out.
I still say Foggy isn't dead, gang. I guarantee you we're going to find out the last second of the last episode of this season that he is alive and well.
Do you guys think like they're really working towards like a blossoming romance between Daredevil and Karen? Like Matt and Karen?
I mean, that's what it usually is in the comics. It's sometimes it's Elektra, sometimes it's Karen, sometimes it's somebody else. I don't know, but I mean that makes sense.
Well, like Elektra isn't back yet, so maybe I mean this
Electric Nachos isn't back yet, so gotta settle for Karen. Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Deborah Ann Woll is infinitely better than whoever the bitch they got for Elektra was, but
Oh no, I mean Elodie Young was pretty good too. So,
Elodie, I didn't care for her portrayal.
There were rumors she might be coming back too. Actually,
I didn't care for the way she was written. No.
Yeah.
No, I mean she was better than Jennifer Garner, but that's not saying much,
She had that show on Fox. Anyway,
Alias. Yeah.
Anywho,
well, she's in the void now. So,
speaking of people coming back, Mike Coulter all but confirms MCU return ahead of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Well, we'll see. talking to Michael Rosenbaum, Coulter said, Kristen and I, she's been talking about this for years. And I'm like, look, this, it'll happen or it won't happen. Cause I was like, so like, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to do something else. I do think now it's time. I think, Daredevil's back. I've had discussions with Marvel and I do think that it's very, very likely that I will come back at some point, but I don't know when, but I think I will. People are always like, well, he didn't say he didn't want to do it. I'm like, well, I wasn't really thinking about it or interested in it. I just wasn't thinking about it. And now I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I mean, the show is back on, so of course you're fucking thinking about it. It's like it's been enough time, and I feel like it's he says like a lot. God damn, bro. What are you, like a third grader? And I feel like I've done some other stuff, and I feel like I could do it again. Like. God damn. Maybe there's some stuff we could do that's different from the last time. I'm kind of open to that now. So yeah, I would love for Mike Coulter to come back. Luke Cage, I don't care what anybody says, second best of the Marvel shows. I would say it's Daredevil, Luke Cage, Punisher, and then I don't care about the rest. So
Jessica Jones
I mean,
is
Iron
the fucking
Fist
best,
season
first of
1. I
all.
didn't
Jessica
hate it
Jones
as much
is
as
the best
everyone else
one.
did.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jessica Jones is the best one, but
Jessica
okay.
Jones,
Hurry.
I feel like the only
Hurry.
good part of that show was David Tennant. Like,
Jesus
that was
Christ,
kind of it.
dude. Okay.
Like, it's like David Tennant, awesome, and then the rest was like kind of, eh. But yeah,
in,
Luke
so it's
Cage,
fine.
awesome. Would love to see Mike Coulter again. It would be lovely and brilliant. Whether they do like the Godfather of Harlem type of thing, or Luke Cage for mayor, that would certainly be interesting. Like if after Kingpin falls, Luke Cage then because that would be interesting. Whatever they do decide to do, would be awesome.
I want Luke Cage and Kingpin to fight it out.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
But that's not the only surprising return. Maybe kind of sorta. But Marvel Star teases surprise MCU return in the Punisher special presentation. It's expected to hit streaming before Spider-Man swings into theaters this July. Shooting wrapped on the Daredevil Born Again follow-up last year, but as with most Disney Plus titles, it's not really getting much advanced promotion. I fucking straight up didn't realize it was coming out in July. I thought it was coming out in the fall. What the fuck?
July, baby.
I mean, I'm happy, but like, Marvel, what the fuck are you doing?
They always release Spider-Man in July.
Side rant, I'm sorry. Like, hang on.
They do, though.
I understand. I fucking understand that you gotta sell your Avengers movie, but why the fuck are you not fucking selling your shit that's coming out 6 months before Avengers? We've gotten 4 clues or teasers or whatever the fuck they're calling them nowadays of fucking Doomsday, but like the shit, like with Spider-Man and Punisher, I want to give me a Spider-Man trailer. Give me a fucking Punisher trailer. I don't fucking care about Avengers. Give me Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man. That's what I fucking care about. I'm with Jay Jonah on that one.
I mean, we did though. We had shots of him on top of a tank.
Avengers.
No, but we did when they started filming. They did put out that stuff that we had shots of him on top of a tank and in a makeshift New York City and.
Anyway. Goddamn, the Homeland Security agent, she's coming back.
I mean, to be fair, we are getting like more Spider Noir than we are getting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, we are. Anyway, I love her. Like, she's great. I love her.
Like we've gotten a trailer for Spider Noir before Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's like, bro, the only thing we have is a leaked trailer. Come on now, like it's just like. I want to see Spider-Man. Like, I'm wearing the shirt, motherfucker. I'm supporting you. I will pay full price for that shit. Give me Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk tomorrow. Okay? I want pictures of Punisher on my desk. God damn it. Fuck the Avengers. They can all get fucked. I don't give a shit about shitty Mystique in that god-awful outfit. Get the fuck that shit out of my face.
Right,
I want to see Punisher and I want to see Spider-Man. Whether it's the black and white version or the Peter Parker version. God damn it. Fuck y'all. Jesus Christ. I want to see Spider-Man. I don't care. And I want to see Punisher. These are like the 2 things I'm actually excited for fucking Marvel.
Yeah. Punisher. Woohoo.
Goddamn. Anyway, give me fucking these trailers, you fucking Nancy's. Goddamn. Speaking of Avengers Doomsday, apparently somebody promises it won't be a cameo fest. Yeah, okay. Sure,
Lewis
buddy.
promises.
Sure, Jan.
Lewis says.
But Lewis Pullman said It's going back to the serum of the human archetypes that our art is built. Okay, bro, you're in a fucking Marvel movie. Calm
And
the
also,
fuck
like,
down.
you're in a side character, babe.
You're
like,
a
you didn't
side
write it, you didn't
character in a
direct it.
Marvel movie, bro.
Fuck.
The archetypes that our art is built. This is like a Nolan quote, but like at least
Relax,
if
love,
Nolan said it, it would actually
relax.
mean something. Calm down.
Yeah.
I like Lewis Pullman. He's a good
I'm
actor. I liked him in
same,
Maverick.
but
all
babe,
that shit.
relax, relax,
Calm the fuck down. But he's saying every character has their moment that builds the dimensions of them. The Russo brothers did that so well. They do not want anyone just sitting in the background. They really took to heart the responsibility of having some of the best actors in the world all together. There's a lot of really exciting pair-ups that happen. A lot of fans will be really excited. It's so fun to dream about. What if A and B would work together? Would B and D work together? You get to see a lot of those fantasies coming to fruition.
He sounds like an excited fan, so that's cute.
Yeah, it's just like the
You know?
first sentence is like, bro, okay,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, we get it. You went to film school. Cool.
Right, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't like with that many characters. I don't know. It just feels like I would say I'll believe it when I see it, but I ain't seeing this shit. So
Oh, you're
Liz will
totally
believe it
doing
when she sees it. Okay, let's go with that.
Yep, exactly. And I will be seeing it. Probably multiple times.
Okay, I agree. Okay, hang on. I agree with Ron. That's some heaping load of bullshit because Logan and motherfucker the Wolverine exists, and you Mr. fucking jerk off the Wolverine saying Marvel movies don't have soul. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, last thing. Speaking of Spider Noir, apparently, I was defending this motherfucker all this time. It's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the same character. Turns out it's not. So thanks, Oren Uziel, for making me look like a jackass. Go fuck yourself, but I'm still excited. I don't care. So he's saying essentially for this, it's the same character, different universe, kind of like what it's probably going to be with the X-Men in Avengers Doomsday, where it's not going to be the same exact characters, but it's aligning in that sort of thing. But he says it's a different flavor of that character, even though it's still Nick's voice. It's not a continuation of Into the Spider-Verse. Once Phil and Chris introduced the idea of the multiverse, I think you're allowed to take things and make them your own. Make a version of Spider-Man that no one had ever seen before. Reflecting on watching the 8-episode season with the actor, Uziel says, spoke his own lines back with pleasure and glee. It was one of the most rewarding things I've ever experienced. So, but I will say this doesn't diminish my excitement for it. Like, I kind of had a feeling, but like with what they were saying, it sounded like it was going to be a continuation, hence why I, defended it for so long. But now I just look like a scumbag. So, it's okay though. I'm still excited. It looks amazing. Like Spider-Man fans are eating good. We're getting your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man this year. We got Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I want to see on my desk tomorrow, Disney. And then we're getting this, and then we're getting Beyond next year, which is very exciting. So I think Spider-Man, like pretty much Spider-Man fans who aren't reading the comics are eating good because the comics fucking suck right now. But like everything else is cool. Like the media part of it is cool, like the shows and the movies, live action, animation, all that sorts of stuff. That's good. But like the comics, the things they're based off of, that's not very good. Anyway, I don't think so. And then apparently, Tom Rothman fucking said that the Spider-Verse with no Spider-Man is also getting rebooted. So if you wanted more of that, that's also very exciting. Hey, I liked the Venom 1 and 3. Madam Web and Morbius were so bad they're good, and Craven wasn't half bad. But let there be Carnage fucking
stop saying that about Madam Web. You have to stop. You have to stop saying
it was funny though. It was so funny.
No, that movie is so fucking awful. Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Morbius,
but
I'll give you. But Madam Web, no,
through.
Sir. Oh God, no.
But yeah. So that's it for MCU Weekly. Goody. We got things to talk about now, and the next thing we're talking about is the award season. Oh yeah, the thing that people really want to talk about is award season. But hey. Sure, if people want to talk about it. But Writers Guild Awards winners list, Sinners, in one battle after another take screenplay prizes. The Pit goes 3 for 3 because, of course, it does. I was actually going to watch an episode today, but then I got caught up with stuff around the house, so I had to do that, and I couldn't, watch an episode, which is sad, but, I'll get to it eventually. Don't worry, Noah Wiley. I'll glaze you up whenever I finally give that a watch. But the Writers Guild Award winners list, Sinners. That's good to see. Love me some Sinners. One battle after another can go fuck itself, but it's bullshit
I like that
propaganda, so
movie.
it's gonna get glazed no matter what.
I like that movie.
But yeah, so Ryan Coogler took original screenplay, while Paul Thomas Anderson took adapted screenplay. So obviously in less than a week, guys, in less than a week on Sunday, we are going to be getting the head honcho, the Oscar ceremony. So obviously we won't be talking about all the winners. We're just kind of we're gonna like go through it, like how you know, with all this, like, Sinners winning screenplay, One Battle After Another, it won drama series, episodic drama, and news series for the Pit. They are talking about Righteous Gemstones, Dying for Sex, apparently Young and the Restless. Late Show apparently got something, so that's exciting. But yeah, it's but
That is so funny, dude.
but yeah, so it's very exciting for all these winners. Nice to see. But that's not the only award show that we're going to be talking about. The Saturn Awards. And apparently Fantastic Four First Steps beat out Superman as best cinematic film adaptation, which is surprising, but Fantastic Four is not a terrible movie. It's okay, but oh god, I will say this picture of the Thing with teeth is definitely nightmare fuel. Let me go past
Yeah,
that.
for real.
Fantastic Four First Steps also picked up a second prize for best film production design, which I would say I think they did a good job with the retro futurism 60s aspect, so I think that like kind of works. But the Saturn Awards took place last night. All of this, Avatar Fire and Ash won best science fiction film, Frankenstein won best horror film, best cinematic adaptation, First Steps won, best thriller is Sinners, because of course, God forbid, they call it a horror film. Action adventure, Final Reckoning won, Tom Cruise won for best actor, Elle Fanning won for Predator Badlands, Jacob Elordi won for Frankenstein, Sigourney Weaver won for Dust Bunny. Never fucking heard of that. But
Me neither, but she's a bad
Jack
bitch, so good for
Champion
her.
won for Fire and Ash. So very exciting. Fucking James Cameron took it all because of course it did. Why, I don't know. Tron Ares won something. Congratulations, but like it's only because 9 Inch Nails did the fucking soundtrack, so duh.
And boy,
makeup, Frankenstein, Sinners, film costume, best independent film, best animated film. The only time that's actually interesting. This is the only time that K-pop Demon Hunters did not win best animated film. Like literally, I believe it was the Annie Awards that they were just nominated for. They were nominated for 10, won all 10 awards.
To be fair, given this list, I'm shocked Zootopia 2 won, honestly. I mean,
the thing is, Zootopia 2 hasn't won any other animation awards.
True,
it was just this one. K-pop Demon Hunters has fucking swept every award show with the exception of the BAFTAs, because it was not nominated because it was a streaming film, which is kind of bullshit, but it's BAFTAs. They're pretentious British fucks, so like, frankly, fuck them. It's then you have Demon Slayer won for best international animated film, which makes sense. Get Fucked China with Ne Zha 2, your like non-movie that totally got like $2 billion. Yeah, sure, of course.
The trailer for that thing was horrible.
But Outlander, Welcome to Derry, which I think is definitely great. Pluribus,
cool. Nice.
Duster, Dexter Resurrection, which is great. Love to see that. And then of course the big thing that we will be getting into, Peacemaker Season 2 won Best Superhero TV Series at the Saturn Awards, which is, I think, really funny, considering everybody hated Peacemaker Season 2. Everybody loved Superman, yet Superman lost, yet Peacemaker Season 2 won. So I guess they felt bad that, like, Superman, all right, we gave it to Fantastic Four. Well, Marvel doesn't have anything, so give it to Peacemaker, I guess. Which is exciting. I liked Peacemaker Season 2, but that's just me.
So did I.
So congrats, good for them. No, I don't believe K-pop Demon Hunters is an industry plan. It's just a good movie from what I've heard. I still am not seeing it out of spite,
It's
but
so good,
you know,
John.
um, no, everyone hated the last episode of season 2. I guess that's fair. I mean, I liked it, Peacemaker shaking my head, lol. But yeah, so DC did get a singular prize. That's good. So congrats. There you go. But yeah, so much. I mean, you guys can read all this. I'm not going through the rest because I'm lazy. But of course, the next thing we have, the thing that's just one more bit of nightmare fuel. There you go for Thing fans. But of course, the thing that we have to get into, the most exciting bit of news, the thing that everybody loves to talk about, and that's more about the Warner Brothers Paramount merger. Yay! Right? And then Liz goes immediately off. So we're going to be
where is Dan?
talking.
Dan cares about this shit. Have Dan come out here. Dan, come talk about
well,
this
Dan
stupid
is
crap.
still not at his computer right now, so
Dan, come
he's
talk about
there.
this
It
stupid
is
crap,
all empty.
Dan,
But
stupid
that's
crap.
okay.
Come talk
He's
about
on.
it.
I think he's on the phone, so it's okay. But with this, Paramount Ice changes to a historic studio lot following Warner Brothers merger. The lot has hosted productions for films such as The Godfather, Titanic, and the Mission Impossible franchise. And per a Los Angeles Times report, one of those changes will involve redundant assets, including real estate. Paramount's most notable properties are the legendary studios in Burbank and Hollywood.
You know what would be really funny? If they put it on the market and Netflix buys it, fucking die. I'll fucking die.
Both of these studios are in the
die.
core 30-mile zone, the inner circle of where Hollywood talent wants to be.
Let's get petty,
it's I guess you could say it's free real estate. Anyway. But yeah, so it seems like despite with both, they want to keep both studios operating, 15 films for both a year. We'll see. We'll believe it when we see it. So obviously we'll see how this goes in terms of all of this, but yeah.
I just wanted to kind of add a little bit. So I read through this article, and apparently, according to people who are supposedly close, according to this article, people who are close to David Ellison, were telling anonymously due to Hollywood Reporter that David Ellison's long-term plan, I think in the interim for like the next, let's say, a year, couple of years, after everything goes through, they're going to keep the two studios as they are. Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, Paramount's on Melrose Avenue. I mean, if you guys are familiar with LA, you know what that is. They're all within that like 30-mile, I think it's called an exclusion zone or something. Like it's a 30-mile zone basically where it's Hollywood Central, it's prime real estate. And so they interviewed entertainment real estate broker who was talking about how this will be prime property if any of this is gonna go up on sale. And all the who's who want to be there, like whether it's a house or like commercial space. But the idea here would be, according to like the people who are close to David Ellison, long term they're gonna probably try consolidating more of the production at the Warner Brothers lot, and at the Paramount lot they're going to not necessarily sell it off, but they'll probably lease or sublet parts of the current backlot, and then they'll also try to maybe have commercial opportunities, whether they turn it into tourist attractions or other businesses come in. Basically, ultimately, Warner Brothers lot is more likely to stay intact the way it is today, whereas Paramount, at least part of Paramount's lot over time, according to this report here, citing sources close to David Ellison, the Paramount lot over time will probably get chopped up a little bit, which people were thinking Paramount's buying Warner Brothers, but clearly, Warner Brothers is the crown jewel now in the new combined company. Let's be honest, they are the much bigger business. So and obviously they'll get, if they don't sell off the land, then they will still get revenue and profit from that, whether it's leasing agreement or rentals or whatever the case might be. But yeah, we're not getting to the politics of it, but ultimately, this seems to be the direction they're going with. Look, it's shitty for either studio lot, whichever one, ultimately gets, I don't think cannibalize is the right word just yet, but maybe that's what happens over time. For example, when Sony was going to buy Paramount more than a year ago, they were going to sell off the lot, Remember, like that they weren't gonna, because the Sony already has the Columbia lot. So do they really need 2 lots? So it's not been, an impossibility. And I guess, for the folks who work on the Paramount lot, I would just look at it and say, okay, well, it's certainly concerning, but again, these are early, inklings. It's not coming from an official source. There are people close to David Ellison, so they would know, but again, it hasn't happened yet, but that seems to be the plan. So and I personally think, like, as long as they'd keep the core of the 2 studios, the backlots intact, I'd be happy. But I understand that they don't need 2 full, as they are today, studio backlots the way they used to have. So, like, I don't think I feel like this is not the worst case scenario, all things considered.
Netflix
But
and
then
Amazon
again,
will take
things
them.
could change.
That's for sure.
So, by the way, sorry I missed the part where you were rightfully calling out Lewis Pullman's soapbox moment. Like, that was hilarious. So thank you for doing that. And I did want to point out, in that acceptance speech from Jennifer Holland at the Saturn Awards, which are always great to see, like, genre movies and TV shows getting, the special recognition for 50 plus years now. She mentioned that, James Gunn wouldn't say something like this out loud because, but she, kind of knowing James Gunn personally as she does.
Well, yeah, she is fucking him, so I would hope so.
Okay, John. But, like, the point I was trying to make is, like, she was saying and she kind of, like, choked up saying this too, that Peacemaker is James Gunn's favorite kid. Like, you don't ever tell your favorite child, like, if you have multiple children, you don't ever tell which one is your favorite, because you want to love them all
100%
equally.
parents
But you always have a favorite.
And anybody who says otherwise are fucking liars.
Yeah.
But, like, she was saying, like, James Gunn will never tell you anybody this, but Peacemaker is his favorite child, especially season 2. And, like, how it's the most James Gunn project that he has done, with, like, the disgusting aspects of the body horror and then, like, the poignant moments and the way the characters are written, the found family themes and everything is all James Gunn all the way. So just wanted to mention that. But getting back to the Warner Brothers stuff, a veteran media executive, this is in Yahoo Finance, they were talking about, like, how Paramount's acquisition, according to their predictions over time for Warner Brothers, it will likely result in a reduced output of movies. And, on the surface, it's like, no duh, but, like, at the same time, we've been talking about how that's the stated intention for David Ellison and his company, his leadership is they don't want to lower that output. But I just wanted to kind of, like, give some color to it, because obviously other veteran media executives who have been in the business and have seen this movie before, know a thing or two. By the way, hello, Figure Drawing in the chat. A member, by the way. Thank you, Figure Drawing. Remember when Disney bought Fox? They at the time said they would try, keep up the same level of production output. But over time, because of how much debt they had, but also at the same time, they're just like, well, we can't, we don't want to, we can't, like, really put out the same kind of amount of movies that we were before. So, and, then a lot of other things happened, like, the COVID pandemic, the strikes and stuff. But well before that, Disney had promised when they first bought Fox, they were going to keep the same level of movie output. Ultimately, they came nowhere close to it, like, in the long run. Now, like, they're putting out probably, like, 50-60% of what the 2 studios separately did back in the day, even with all the specialty labels, like, Searchlight Pictures and whatnot. So, there is precedence for this, like, all good intentions aside, that maybe the debt will be so much of a burden that they will need to cut down their output, John. I mean, it's also on the other side of it, you can make the argument that David Ellison's got money to throw at his problems. So maybe Disney didn't quite have that. Disney was, like, more in a Netflix kind of situation where they didn't have outside money to invest in to kind of make up for, like, the bad debt that they're carrying. So they're going to get really bad interest rates for any loans that they get from movie financiers. Whereas Disney and Netflix would have been limited in that. Maybe David Ellison isn't, but it's still, it's very much a problem that they will have to tend with. So do you think, based on, again, the veteran movie executive here talking about it, as well as, other reports we have seen, do you really think David Ellison and Paramount will be able to keep up with their promise of, like, 30 movies a year, 15 at Paramount, 15 at Warner Brothers?
I don't think so. I think it'll probably be like a Disney situation where it's like, oh yeah, promises. Sure, Jan. I'll believe it when I see it. So
Yeah, I mean, and you know what, Ron, I do hope that if they're putting out fewer movies, that they're putting out overall a better quality of movies. That's always the hope. but regardless of whether they are
Yeah.
actively sabotaging that effort, or they're just not good at making decisions, or even with the best of intentions, like I'm sure Maggie Gyllenhaal didn't set out to make a terrible movie in The Bride, but it happens sometimes.
It just happens
So
sometimes. Although
it's hard, so
it's just how it is. Also, I did, I like the video here. I think I paused it at the perfect point because somebody asked Brian Sozzi how many dicks David Ellison takes a day, and he's like,
wow.
"Ew."
Well, let's talk
You'd
about
think
the
it'd
other
be
day.
more, but he likes to be spit roast. He likes to be Eiffel Tower. David Ellison. He likes David Zaslav on ass
John.
and Ted Sarandos on mouth. So
Okay. I mean, we're not even at midnight yet. You're jumping ahead a little bit here.
Yeah.
We gotta cool it here for a second.
Daddy Zaslav, give me more of that dick.
Speaking of Daddy Zaslav,
there he is. There's our friend.
But I mean, I think this is on the Ringer. Bill Simmons does this podcast. He had, I think, Matthew Bellany from The Puck on. And can you just reload so we can just restart the playback? But basically,
yeah, sure.
This is a great analogy, and I think it's a very true analogy of what David Zaslav and co did. Which was, they were talking to Bill Simmons, kind of like laid it out pretty clearly, which I think it makes absolute sense, and I think is completely true. Even though I think Paramount has the best intentions, ultimately, like, the current ownership of Warner Brothers, David Zaslav and co, really did kind of screw them over, because like they were like, oh, so David Zaslav basically bought a house that he knew he could not afford, that he knew he could not afford to keep long term, and then he basically like decided to turn it around and just like sell it off for money, and like he's gonna become a billionaire off of this. I think like Bill Simmons said it better than I could. I think, by the way, the playback is paused, but I just thought that this was the perfect analogy. Like he's gonna make 800 million. He's already just sold a bunch of shares that is gonna make him over 100 million. And so he's going to be a billionaire at the end of this, like combined with whatever he already has in his net worth. And at the end of the day, like us, like the fans and the people who work in Hollywood and for Warner Brothers will be feeling the hurt more than anything. And it's just, yeah, it's sad. It's kind of disgusting in a lot of ways, because it's that thing of like, he knew, like, in that leaked phone call, or like the Thomas, he was like, he knew like we would have, like, this is some been leaked, the audio since, and so we know what David Zaslav really thinks, and he's thought that for a while. Hey Brogu, that like he knew from the beginning when he was buying, as the Discovery owner of Discovery, or the CEO of Discovery, that they wouldn't be able to sustain this long term. I think, like, again, what else could you expect at the end of the day from David Zaslav, the owner of Discovery Channel, the home of, Love It or Listed, or, what was it? The Flip, what was the name of the show? Flipping or whatever, Sunset, the house of HGTV. He basically decided to, like, Flipper Upper. That's the one. Flipper Upper. Basically, David Zaslav saw Warner Brothers and thought it was a Flipper Upper. Came in and said, we're gonna clean things up a little bit. The AT&T really screwed up big, and I bet that if we built a nice patio, if we broke down the wall and made it more of an open concept, like living room area, so that you could see through the kitchen into the living room, and then maybe we improved the curb appeal a little bit. We did the landscaping.
Don Voltaggio would like a word with you in addition to Gabe Newell. So keep your and the guy the co-owner of Costco. So those are the trifecta, okay, of good billionaires that we don't besmirch in this household.
But I'm saying, like, the whole, like, we're gonna like do some landscaping, our rendezvous with Destiny, Max, like, it didn't work out, sure, but we're gonna go back to HBO Max, forget that we actually, like, the circles in which Casey Bloys and everybody talked about how that was, like, not actually a bad decision, but it really was. He was like, I still have my old business cards that says HBO Max on them, like, at least I can just use that, like, I'm like, great, that's the last thing anybody was thinking in your job. But yeah, I mean, it seems like now more than ever that Discovery's intentions, David Zaslav's intentions, always were to look at and treat Warner Brothers as a flipper, like, anyway, fixer-upper. I think it's not even a flipper-upper, fixer-upper. You fix it up, then you sell it, I mean, I don't know. Love It, Listed, whatever. All those HGTV shows where they do this stuff. I mean, John, I don't know. Do you agree with this assessment? Matthew Bellany, of course, is the one who interviewed Ted Sarandos the Friday before they, walked away from the deal at the Puck. And then, of course, Bill Simmons, from the basketball world. He's a big Boston Celtics fan. He's like, the co-CEO or like the founder of Ringer as well. Like the way they talk about it. Like, is this what David Zaslav wanted to do from the beginning?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, he's amazing. He enjoyed being a Hollywood mogul. He might still end up like sticking around in some capacity, but yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because again, look, at the end of the day, if Warner Brothers ends up in a really great situation under the new ownership with Paramount, great. But if it doesn't, then I think we can all go back to looking at it and being like, okay, well, I mean, AT&T was already running it into the ground, so I mean, what other choice did they have? But I don't know, maybe in an alternate timeline.
Okay.
Things could have
Let's move on because I'm sick of talking about this.
Yeah.
Liz, you can come back now. We're done talking about Warner Brothers.
Back.
Yeah.
Now, guys, guess what? Now we can talk about how fucking stupid Timothy Chalamet is.
But you know what though? Like this has been this has been amazing. The response has been amazing, and the way everybody's been handling it is brilliant.
Timothy Chalamet is getting real life fucking ratioed,
and I
am absolutely fucking here for it.
I genuinely think he was joking. Like I don't know that he truly feels this way, but.
Oh no! Did you see the clip?
No,
wait, did you see the clip?
I saw the
because
clip,
do you see how
he thought he was being funny?
Like, look, Matthew McConaughey, you love him or hate him as an actor, he's always had a good head on his shoulders. He's a very good businessman.
Exactly
and the look on his face when Timothy Chalamet says, he's like, oh no, it's almost like you can see him being like, no.
It was like literally fucking. It's so funny. Like this dude was at like a 77% likelihood to win the Oscar. Now it's 43%. Dude, fuck you, just beelined way fucking down. It's like, and this was right before ballots were being closed. So like,
oh my god,
you literally might have just fucked your way out of an Oscar.
To be fair, he was staying true to his character from Marty Supreme. So because that's exactly
come on, that's a
this is what happens. This is your brain. This is your brain on Kardashian. This is exactly.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, this is that effect. This is the Kardashian
bring her
effect.
into this. No.
I'm gonna happily bring her into this because it's not that kind of dog shit comment. Sounds like something a fucking Kardashian would fucking say.
The Kardashians love opera. Don't bring that into it. Not at all. Not at all. We don't need to go there.
Don't get me wrong. I think Michael B is just as worthy. I personally thought Timothy Chalamet gave a better performance. However, I'm not going to be mad if Michael B wins. He also gave an extraordinarily great performance. But, like, it's just funny how it just, like, bam, just like you butt yourself quickly.
It's okay. So just for a second to answer, I'm just going to read the quote, like what he said. So just for anybody who hasn't heard
who doesn't know.
He said, and this is part of like the variety, like, CNN, like they get the actors together, they do like a little town hall sort of a thing, that people in the audience, and he was just talking through things. He just randomly goes on a sidebar, like, this is headless.
If you scroll down, the quote is right there, John.
Yeah, the man shouts at the sky moment. So what he said was, and I don't want to be working in ballet and opera or things where it's like
to him in the orange shirt.
Yeah, but he said, hey, keep this thing alive even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there. And then he was like, oh, and I just probably lost 40 cents. I'm like, you lost probably a lot more than 40 cents, like you said, John. But it just felt like a really tone-deaf thing to say. But clearly when somebody says something like this, it's like it's been on your mind for a while. Like this feels like he just, I don't know, chose the completely wrong place to say this out loud. John, you're muted, by the way.
By the way, the funniest part about all of this, his mother, grandmother, and sister are all ballet dancers.
That's why I'm saying I genuinely think he thought he was saying something like funny, like just like, LOL, like nobody cares. But like dude's delivery was just all wrong. And Matthew McConaughey's face said it all. But again, can you please go back up to that ad right there, that ad? No, go back. I mean, the way people keep going. right below it, the one, no, directly below. There you are. I mean, the way that they're responding to this is brilliant. That is the funniest thing anybody could have done. I mean,
Timothy.
And then I
that's
think an LA
hilarious.
Opera
That's
House was
hilarious.
like, "Hey, we're sold out, but Timothy, just wanted to let you know, but there's like standing room if you can find a seat there." So it's like, that's just, yeah, it's
It's
just,
brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
it's. I know another
love it.
one was like, "Oh, you use discount code Timmy Tim to get
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
like
It's
50%
hilarious.
off tickets."
You
It's
know?
just, it's so funny, bro.
I
It's
don't
so
want to
fucking
say
funny.
he's worrying me in that he may become like the next Shia LaBeouf, but
I mean,
I don't think he's
I
that
don't
disastrous as a
know.
human being,
He
but like,
makes similar like acting
I think
choices,
at this
and
point,
I
here's
don't
the thing.
and I don't
Like
know.
ignoring like thoughts about like Kardashian stuff, I think it's just at
Thank
this
you.
point, he's just
Irrelevant.
reaching a point in his career where he's just becoming part of the Hollywood system. Because my sister was talking about this because she used to love Timothy Chalamet, now she fucking hates him. But she was like, "Oh, it's just so like sad that he's become
I don't
such an
hate him.
asshole." It's like, "Oh, like 99% of fucking Hollywood, he's just becoming part of the system." Like,
No, I
you can
mean,
only go so far. Being like, you could, like, Keanu Reeves can get away with that. Like, he's
no, no. You know what it is? It's he got very famous very quickly, and he has just become extremely arrogant. Which again, yes, you can back it up with your acting, and that's all well and good, but it doesn't necessarily, transition, make you a decent human being in the public's eye. So we'll see what happens with him. I think he's a great actor. I like him a lot, but
oh yeah, I think he's
sometimes
great. Just
sometimes, like we've said about other people, maybe don't open your mouth anymore for a minute.
yeah,
or
like
two.
Zachary
That's all.
Levi, just like, "Hey, shut
saying.
your mouth, buddy."
Maybe stop
It's-
talking.
Like I don't think I still don't get what the hype is about with Timothy Chalamet. I really don't think I think he's overrated. Personally,
You
I
have
know
to
I'm in the
see his
minority.
earlier stuff. Some of the stuff that he
it's-
first put out was really quite good. He is good. He is capable.
I mean,
He
he's
just
also
is
like a
getting
little
too-
overexposed.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. He's getting too big for his britches, and nobody. He needs a humbling moment for sure. Which is again why I see him going the way of
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
No, well, I mean, you know what? Like, I didn't think Shia LaBeouf would be making the headlines like Ezra Miller did a few years ago until recently, but I mean, here we are. So, let's just. I don't like to use the words red flags because I feel like they're overused and misused a lot in today's culture.
No, but go ahead.
There's a couple of big red flags here, like, between, again, not related maybe, but like the Kardashian thing for me, and then this now. I mean, I guess maybe this is what happens when you got every...
That's not fair, though. That's not
Okay, fair. All right, but I'm just saying, maybe this is what happens when every big actor, like RDJ, like, glazes the shit out of you, or like, when you have a big birthday, you gotta getting a noogie from Sir President Christopher Nolan, and then photos from every other A-lister in all of Hollywood. Maybe your ego does kind of like go beyond your means,
and
or
it
whatever.
also
Like,
doesn't
it's
help
just
that he's like, he's might be getting an Oscar, although who knows if that's the case at this point. But it's just like he also has like all of his upcoming projects are going to be like Dune Messiah is going to be fucking huge, just like
he's
going
to be on the red.
See,
he's
just
going to be in a
he
big
just needs a
PR.
stinker to be like, "Oh, you suck now, bro." Just kind of that. So I don't know. It's just crazy.
I mean, listen, we've seen it before with actors that that have come and gone and have made comebacks, and he needs something in his life to humble him.
Speaking
and
of
when
Kim
he does,
Kardashian, come
we'll
on
see what
back.
happens.
Hello.
For
But
God's sakes.
it's just it's just like like okay, he just becomes part of the system. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. It's just
he's just got some growing to do. That's all.
Yeah, I think he's probably learned a few things. I mean, maybe like, I'm sure his publicist was like not happy about that because now they have to deal with a shitstorm because he's going from this to Dune. Like he's gonna be Mark, on the Mark promotional tour for that soon, and he's got a million other projects lined up anyway. It's like, so he's not gonna lose roles over this.
Again,
it's just
I genuinely think
moment.
he thought he was saying something funny, and
I think he even thought in the moment, like just looking at Matthew McConaughey's, dead eye stare back, and then also like the way he's like, I probably just lost 40 cents over or something like that. I'm like, I think, like you have your moments as long as this doesn't extend into like other things, but it's It just, everybody has like controversial opinions. Just don't say them out loud, on a televised town hall thing that everybody in the world is going to see. Like, come on. Anyway.
Anyway.
But people are forgiving. So like,
speaking of controversial statements, now we go into Pete Doctors.
MovieTalk Madness. Lots of madness today.
He said he was saying something about Elio. Because Pete Doctor says Pixar cut Elio LGBTQ themes because we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. So okay. Speaking of things that people shouldn't say, I think I'm not gonna say anything.
So
I think I'm just gonna leave it to you guys here.
If you read the article, I understand the point he was trying to make, but it also begs the question, like, unless it was two men fucking in this animated feature, like how extreme were we going to go as far as the homosexual undertones? You know what I mean? Like I appreciate what he's saying. Like, you don't want to create a movie where then somebody goes home and is like, "Mommy, how are babies made?" Like, I understand it to a point what he's poorly trying to say, but at the same time, like, why do we need to bring this up at all? Even, like, don't talk about it then. You didn't put it in the movie. You had discussions behind closed doors. Why the fuck does this need to be a headline necessarily? I don't understand.
I mean, because this whole thing, by the way, this interview was like I think the Wall Street Journal did a big profile on him. And Pete Docter was talking about, like, we're going to talk about it in the quick hits. He actually listed out a bunch of movies Pixar is working on, a lot of sequels, but like, they're also doing still a few originals. And then as part of that interview, he just kind of, again, it's kind of like people like pay attention to your publicist. Remember when like that thing happened when, remember, what was it? I forget, John, but was it like when, Jason Momoa was promoting something. I think he was about to reveal something about Supergirl, and his publicist is like, "Don't say it." Or like, I think it was with Jack Black. Was it?
Yeah, because what happened was
Minecraft.
He was doing press for Minecraft.
Yes.
And then he's like, "I have a picture on my phone," and then like,
and like you just like hear her off screen like yelling out to Jason Momoa.
Almost got away with
it. I can't. You almost got to.
Like, "Oh, let me see it, bro." And he's like, "I got it right here," and he's like, "You."
Right.
And then James Gunn just like, it's like, "You better shut the fuck up, man. You better shut the fuck up right now before I use. There's a reason I am called James Gunn."
But like, like, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation. I think what he said is wrong in a lot of ways. I'm just saying, like, but like, it's okay. You're the head of the studio, right? Like Pete Docter taking over from John Lasseter and stuff. Like, you've got a legacy to keep. It's Pixar. Like, it's like
John Lasseter wouldn't have said this shit.
It's like, and by the way, John Lasseter over at Skydance Animation, now part of Paramount Warner Brothers. Like, anyway, but that aside, Pete Docter, like, dude, it's kind of like Kathleen Kennedy has sort of put her foot in her mouth a few times since she left. I feel like now she can freely talk. She's like, I'm going to just talk about stuff that I didn't talk about before because I thought I would, start up a shitstorm because I was the president of Lucasfilm. But since I'm not anymore, like, and I actually kind of like cut a story from the show today where she did another one of those things where she talked about it, where it's like everybody in Hollywood has a big ego, right? Like it wouldn't be Hollywood if people didn't have big egos, but it's like you're hurting your brand, but you're also like it's just wrong. It's like, yeah, the whole thing of like, again, like Eric said it best, like, Disney, can you make it less gay? You're never beating those charges now because literally Pete Docter just said it out loud. It's like, okay, we get it, but like there's more nuance to all of this.
Why would we talk about this? Why would we even bring this up in conversation? Yeah. That's what I mean.
I mean, they literally, like, the original director of the movie, we knew a lot of this already. Like, the original director of the movie left the project. They brought in a couple of other directors who also had done some great work for Pixar. So it's not like they brought in, worse talent. They were still two talented people who worked on the movie. And Elio still was a good movie. It didn't do very well at the box office.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
But like the whole, and then again, we're to talk about like what would have ended up being in the movie versus what ended up in the movie and what was taken out, the LGBTQ themes. Again, I mean, Liz, we talked about this when this was first a controversy last year. We had a long conversation. You guys are welcome to go back and watch it in detail. I think there's a lot of nuances to this.
So I know almost all of you have not seen this film, which is a fucking shame because it's delightful. It's wonderful. I just recommended it to someone else who was like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me about it. My daughter loved it. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
I have a feeling because this film deals with a number of different alien races, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vis-a-vis Star Trek, for example, and they all come together at like this UN. Okay, I have a feeling one of the alien species was probably like all one sex or all like amorphic or so they don't have male or female defined genders. I have a feeling that's probably all it was them maybe explaining their relationships or why they all look alike, or kind of like a
they also say
wasn't it also like Elio the kid wasn't like he wasn't there like queer coded themes with him?
Yes,
he would have he had a crush on one of the boys in his troop or whatever. But
that was part
again,
of it.
it's well, like I said, while I understand the thinking a little bit here, I also feel like you can do it in a way that is just so harmless and so innocent and so like But again, since you didn't do it at all, the fuck are you talking about it for? Unless you're saying something like, oh, it's a real shame that we can't just kind of depict every facet of love or relationships or humanity. Like, then I can understand the context. But for you to just be like, yeah, we just thought, we didn't want to traumatize kids or whatever. It's like, bro, you should not be saying that shit in public. Like,
because like it's also like objectively what you're saying is also not like hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. It's
right.
There was a whole Snoop Dogg thing that happened. That's the like. So he's not the first person to put his foot in his mouth, but like
homosexual intercourse on your screen. But I'm like, are you talking about?
Which wouldn't be a Pixar. I mean, Pixar is not really known for that kind of thing anyway.
That's I'm saying.
Right. So, so I don't think it's. Yeah, it's like, look.
Right. Exactly. Dark
every kind of story has a right to exist in that sense. Like you should have and it's not. There's other projects, wasn't it like Inside Out 2, was it? Or am I thinking of like, there's been other Pixar movies that have had this, and
they had it in with the Buzz Lightyear film. There was a lesbian couple, and then they had to like strongly edit back because heaven forbid 2 cartoon women kiss. Oh my God,
come on, like people, like this is 2026. I like political sensitivities aside, I feel like it's just representative of the world that we have lived in and the world we live in today. It's just, there's nothing wrong with having LGBTQ themes in a movie, and it's not going to like cause hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. And, if it does cause some, like a parent to have a conversation with their kid, I mean, look, like my opinion on this is, if your kid is going to grow up in the world that they're growing up in, they're going to like eventually like need to know that and be understanding and be accepting of it. By you avoiding having that conversation, you're as a parent not setting them up, to not like fail or succeed, but just to not be prepared to navigate the world that they live in. Not to mention, like you might not know. Maybe your kid is like already, thinking like maybe they're they were born female presenting, but they feel like they're more of want to present as a male, but like so. And they're not going to talk to you about it because you are not giving them a safe space to do that. So there's a lot of there's a lot of nuances to this. We can't really talk about this and address every aspect of it. Well, we're only doing it for like 5 to 10 minutes on the show. But man, Pete Docter, like God, like where was your publicist? Was she and them in the room or not? Because clearly like wow, like Pixar, man, this is Pixar. It's kind of like when you work for a company and you go and it's like a public facing situation, like environment where you are a representative of the company. You are part of the Pixar brand. Yep. And right now, that in and of itself is where you are failing the Pixar brand, which has spent decades building itself up as like the premier animation movie studio, that a lot of their storytelling is targeted towards young, kids and family audiences. And this just sends the complete wrong message. Like, I think Enterprising used to put it perfectly. There's kids that have lesbian moms, gay dads, or family member that's trans, like, and beyond.
Yep.
So, it's just, this is wrong on so many levels. I hope, Pete Docter realizes what he said, and regardless of how he feels, I mean, just, God, like, you're a representative of a brand. Like, you represent every single person who works at Pixar that most of us don't even know the names of, or know that they work for Pixar. And so you can't say something like this out. Like, even if you believe it, I'm like, that's not like in your personal profile in Wall Street Journal.
Like, look at how everybody lost their shit when there was the possibility that the people in the hot tub in Frozen, there were gay dads there. Like, I mean, look at all the backlash just from the assumption. Like, again, you don't have to talk about it at all. You didn't do it. You took it out of the film. You made a point. So why bring it up at all? Like, you're only just adding fuel to the fire when you do shit like that. Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. I get, but we'll leave it there for now. But I think this is going to be an ongoing conversation, and Pete Docter really put his foot in his mouth with that one. So wow. But hey, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Arnold. By the way, every quote in this article.
Yes, finally.
John, either you or me, we're gonna need to read his entire quote in his accent. We gotta do our Arnold impression.
I'm getting out of here. You got.
Well, you don't want to talk about King Conan? This thing's been like trying to get made for like 30, 40 years.
I love Conan the Barbarian. I'm very excited about this. I don't give a shit Arnold is like, how old? I don't know. But even if they try to depict him as like a 45-year-old, I don't care. I'm for it. Like, I'm for it. I'm going to keep watching those stupid Sylvester Stallone movies. I'm going to keep watching this shit. I don't care. It's fine. I can't wait. I can't wait. But I'm not doing the accent. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, you don't have to do the accent. We just have to read out the quote.
Okay, I'll do the first paragraph. You do the second paragraph. How about that? I think that's fair. Okay.
I mean, so Arnold was at the Arnold Sports Festival talking to ArnoldFans.com over the weekend about, these upcoming projects. And he was talking about Christopher McQuarrie, of course, who directed the last 4 Mission Impossible movies coming on board. Anyway, go ahead, John.
They just hired the fantastic writer director who did Tom Cruise's last 4 movies. They just hired him to write and direct King Conan. Now what they do is they write the part. They don't write them like I'm 40 years old. You write it to be age appropriate. I'll still go in there and kick some ass, but it will be different. There you go.
Yes, okay.
I can do it if you want me
to. Go ahead, because I'm just laughing too hard.
With King Conan, it's a great story that Conan was 40 years as king, and now he gets forced out the kingdom, and there's conflict, of course, but somehow he comes back, and there's all kinds of madness, violence, magic, and creatures, and stuff like that. And now, of course, there's all kinds of special effects. The studio has plenty of money to make those movies really big, so I'm looking forward to all of those projects.
This is great. I mean, get the choppers. King Conan is like, oh god, this is great. And then he called them like Fox Studios. I'm like, okay, Fox doesn't exist anymore in the way you think it does, but sure, because these are all old used to be Fox properties. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a King Conan movie.
We might be. I don't know. Who knows?
I guess
there's no official announcement.
There's no official announcement.
They've been, like, straight up. John Milius was trying to do this for fucking years. It was like King Conan. There was another Conan. Like, there was like 3 or 4 different third Conan projects. King Conan was one of them, and then Conan. It was Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. Conan the something, I forget what it was, and then King Conan was one of them. Like, they've been trying for a long time to really get this off the ground. So I don't know. I'd like to believe it. I think that would be awesome, but I don't know. It feels too good to be true.
I mean, Jason Momoa did one back in the day.
We don't fucking talk about that.
Did The Rock do one? Did The Rock do a Conan movie?
No. You're thinking of Hercules.
Hercules. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Stick around. It's also, I just watched the beginning. Speaking of Command, he also talked about Commando, right? I think he said like Commando might be where they have a sequel. Actually, if you scroll down, there's more. He said more. There's more, John.
Okay, I can't. You could.
There's
do
no
it. You could
bathroom.
do this.
Okay, I'll do it. They did an additional Predator, and the director has been doing a great job of that. And now he wants me to be in the next Predator. We talked about it. As a matter of fact, Fox Studios has kind of rediscovered Arnold. They've come to me and said, "We want you to do Predator, but we've got a script for you to do Commando 2." I can't do the rest of this. So
Okay.
he's like Commando 2, Predator. There's another Conan movie. Like Arnold's got like the rest of his movies. He's like Henry Cavill with Amazon. He's got the next 5 movies set up. It's great. This is great. I you know what? I'll watch it. I just watched like the opening. Or like one of the first scenes of a Commando where he's like, the guy's like, that if you open your mouth again, then I'm gonna shut it for you or something, and then he just like, elbow, choke, dead, like puts a cap on his head. He's like, how long of a flight? Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired. He's dead tired. I was like, this is great. It would be crazy if Commando 2 got
Conan the Conqueror. That was it. Okay. It was Conan the Conqueror was one of them. Because I have a bunch of
it's not a Tuma.
They tried to do it in the early 90s. It never happened. I know one of them was Conan 2, A Witch Shall Be Born. That might have been for the shitty Jason Momoa version, but
there was a time when Jason Momoa was on that path, and then things didn't quite work.
Apparently, they tried to get one off. Apparently, there was even one that was they tried to get it off. Get it done in the 70s, and it was written by Oliver Stone of all people. But that one never happened. So it eventually evolved into Conan the Barbarian. So
that's awesome. Scene in it. Okay, yeah. Well, he's the governor of California. Okay. Well, Arnold apparently getting ahead of
Steve Bennett,
getting ahead of Disney.
I've actually never seen
20th Century Studios. So yeah, I guess between another Predator movie he's gonna be in and a Commando and a Conan sequel, like Arnold is all set. Like, yeah, confirms Predator talks. Christopher McQuarrie though, on the other hand, Commando is a good movie. It's very much of its time, but it's worth a watch. Pure 80s action, like Ron said, John. So definitely go check it out. I don't know, I guess it might be on Hulu or Disney Plus. Hulu part of the Disney Plus. We should do a tier list with Arnold movies. Then we gotta like do the whole tier list with just the Arnold accent. It's like we gotta rate Kindergarten Cop.
So Conan the Barbarian is on AMC Plus for all 3 of those fucking people that have that. And then but Conan the Destroyer, the shitty sequel, is on Netflix. So go figure. But it's also both of them are on AMC Plus. So all fucking 5 people that have that streaming service can.
Dude,
so if you have a VPN,
I think you guys have Disney Plus in Canada.
Canada, there you go.
Yeah, get Shane Black. No, Christopher McQuarrie is apparently working on the King Conan movie. So there you go. All right, okay. Well, now Liz can come back because this is gonna be her favorite part of the show. I hope, Liz, you're listening because we're about to talk In the Gray.
Yes, please. Can't wait. Woohoo!
No, and we will do an Arnold. Now we have to do an Arnold tier list. We will definitely do that. Don't you worry.
We'll put that in.
It's gonna be in there.
Twins.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Terminator and True Lies.
Eraser. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Stay cool, bud boy. Yeah, there we go. We have
Sixth Day or something. That was another one he did. So you could go fuck yourself. That was good time. But yeah.
Also, shut up, Caleb. That's not true. Shut up, Caleb.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Caleb. Nobody.
Full of crap, Caleb.
Did you see Ungentlemanly Warfare? Get the fuck out of here. That
movie was
awesome.
It was. Speaking of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Isa Gonzalez, Henry Cavill, once again, directed by Guy Ritchie. This is like the 3rd movie that Henry Cavill has done with Guy Ritchie, from like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. and then Ungentlemanly Warfare, which was like it's the most. That movie title, Ungentlemanly Warfare, is the most not roll off the tongue movie title of all time, which I'm guessing is on purpose. But Anyway, you guys saw the trailer. In the Gray.
Yeah, dude.
This got delayed because it was originally going to come out in January. Lionsgate is no longer distributing. It's a Black Bear is distributing it. It's going to have, of course, Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, Isaac Gonzalez, Rosamund Pike also
Looks
in the
awesome.
trailer is
I'll
going to
go
be in the
watch
movie.
it. I'm going to see
wait,
it.
Yeah.
Can't
Hell
wait.
yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, all
When
of
is
us
it coming
saw
out?
I saw it.
So this was
Ministry of
supposed to come out
Ungentlemanly
in
Warfare, I saw it.
no.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
so In the Gray was supposed to come out on January 17th, but now it's coming out May 15th of 2026.
Oh,
So
that's
this year,
right.
May
That's
15th. Yeah.
Yes, I saw that and I said,
Yep.
"Happy birthday to me." So
That's actually
That's
one of my cousins is getting married that weekend, so I might have to either go to it on Thursday in previews or maybe wait till like Monday to see it because like there's like a whole
I'll be
3-day
seeing it
thing.
on
So
Thursday. Hell yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, do you guys think this will be a big hit? Because Ungentlemanly Warfare wasn't a runaway hit.
Because I think
know?
it looks like it
Ungentlemanly
looks
Warfare is
cool.
great, and this looks
Yeah.
awesome as shit. So yeah,
Yep.
it looks very much like almost like
scroll
the
up a
Wrecking
little.
Crew. It's like the Wrecking Crew meets
Back to the photo.
Ungentlemanly Warfare a little bit. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it. It looks great.
It definitely
Can't
does.
wait.
Yeah, it's
So
also
good.
like speaking of like those 80s movies, like the Arnold movies or the Sylvester. We'll talk about Sly Stallone later. Like I feel like Guy Ritchie's not only been on a big win streak right now. Is he behind Young Sherlock on Prime? Or
think
is that not
he's
a
like
him?
executively
he's-
producing.
yeah, I
I don't
believe
think it's
he's
gonna
got
be
a piece of
big.
it.
I mean, the guy's on like a heater of a run right now, and then
Heater.
it just and then not to mention, it just feels like for people looking for those 80s pure action cinema kind of movies, like this is what Guy Ritchie does today. Like just that's what these are.
Caleb,
So
you're-
and that's what
you're
this
really
trailer looked
annoying
like.
me tonight.
So I mean, okay, Caleb,
Thank
speaking
you,
of like
Grogu.
calling out people who don't see things,
It looked like action
Go
slot.
watch it.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why
Go
it's
ahead and be-
awesome. Like
You're
Yes.
so annoying. You're so
It's like,
annoying.
you go to watch The Beekeeper not because it's a great movie. You go to watch The
Fucking
Beekeeper because
thank
you
you,
want to watch
Dan.
Jason Statham.
Look.
Like you want to just watch.
Also, Ungentlemanly Warfare
Yes.
is based on a true fucking story, so shut
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Shut it.
I mean, yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal just never ages. I mean, come on.
No.
Henry,
you don't miss
who
either. You
who
don't
knew
miss.
that we were gonna like be pining for Superman and Mysterio crossover?
I did. I have been.
And possibly previous past era Superman with a future era Batman. Maybe, who knows? Maybe a Wonder Woman. This could be a Justice League. Like
She
this could be
should
the DC
Wonder
Trinity.
Woman, dude. She's my pick for Wonder Woman.
it's-
I love her.
Yeah.
I think Adria Arjona would be better, but I wouldn't mind her. I think she could be pretty good.
To me, Isaac Gonzalez, Adria Arjona are basically like this generation's Jessica Chastain and Bryce Dallas
And
Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
It's literally,
But better because it's Latinas. So there's that.
well, James Gunn loves that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, can you fucking blame him?
Angelica.
Anyway,
Anyway, we still have so much to get through. So
so much to get through.
Yes.
All right, well, that's all the movie talk madness. So let's get into the quick hits.
yes, let's put on that bossa nova elevator music and there we go. Perfect. Now, finally some good fucking food. Anywho, not saying In the Gray isn't good food. I'm just saying, perfection. CinemaCon sets Godzilla -0 preview with director Takashi Yamazaki and G Kids, and I can't wait for it. Please inject it into my veins now. Why do I gotta wait till November? Yamazaki, come on now. Give me it now.
So
I want it
what's-
now. Why are you
By the way-
showing it to me if I can't have it? Anyway.
So G Kids was recently bought by Toho, which behind the movie, of course, they own the Godzilla franchise. This is interesting because they're gonna do this like special preview on opening night in like the state of the industry sort of a panel at CinemaCon, because Toho and G Kids are not really part of a big studio panel. So it's interesting they're Cinema United is giving them like this prime slot. So the first movie did so well, Kevin Feige was like, well, how did you guys do that? Can we take some of those lessons over at Marvel? So I'm excited to see that they're gonna be getting a prime spot,
Like-
and film theater owners will get to see it.
You know what it like, speaking of like, because there was the whole thing as you mentioned with like Marvel watching Godzilla -1, like I can imagine like Kevin Feige in that fucking theater. It's like that scene from The Boys with Homelander watching the movie and he's like disassociating. It's like I could just see that with Kevin Feige just being like, this motherfucker managed to one up every single fucking one of my movies with like 10% of the budget. I would be so fucking embarrassed. I would be so like, this motherfucker filmed on a green screen in a parking lot, got an Oscar, and managed to show up fucking Marvel Studios. Frankly, Kevin Feige should have just done, no, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. This is dog shit. I'm out. Like, that's what I would have fucking done. Like, you can't win that battle. I'm so, like, being one-upped by a nothing fucking studio by Japan, getting the Oscar for it, and also, by the way, here's my movie. Suck dicks, Kevin. Suck it. So, you know, like, I just be like, okay, Marvel's done. I can't do this. Bye-bye. I'm out of here. So, like,
Lizz is just
makes me laugh.
Lizz is just taking the Kevin Feige slang.
Yeah,
dude, I
like,
love. First of all,
I'm so
don't.
embarrassed.
Do not ever
like,
think of me as a fucking
one-upped
Kevin
by
Feige
this.
defender.
It's
First
crazy.
of all, and second of all, I fucking love -1, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Cool.
I can't wait for this myself.
Yeah, Godzilla -0. I can't wait for it.
Hell
Godzilla
yeah,
-1
dude.
is
By the
peak
way-
cinema. It's, you know.
Peak
Is
cinema.
it
Peak
just to
cinema.
confirm? Is it a prequel? Because like Ron was wondering, is that like the title, the convention of the title? Is it
No.
meant to be a prequel? Because like -1,
I don't
-0.
know. I don't think we really know anything.
Or
about
because-
it right
-1
now.
is below 0, first of all, but no.
That's true. Okay, I get it. Like, so maybe if you're doing math, like true math, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That math
I'm
is
actually kind of
math and-
behind. Yeah, the math is math. I'm behind on Monarch, by the way, Brogu. I'm gonna be catching up. It's on Apple TV. If you guys aren't watching it,
Yeah,
go watch it.
for me, I got.
They're doing a spin-off too, which starts filming this year with Wyatt Russell. But anyway, let's keep on going. Yeah.
Let's keep it going. Speaking of old action stars, Sylvester Stallone to executively produce Lionsgate prequel John Rambo, and I couldn't care less. It's just gonna be a Vietnam movie that's gonna suck. So like,
I'll
whatever.
watch
It's a-
it, but I'm
yeah.
not happy about it.
Look, he's written every other Rambo movie. So he's been a friend. I mean, obviously,
Poorly.
and he starred in them.
Poorly.
Come on, First Blood was amazing. But
First Blood is amazing. The second one
yes.
is fun. I never watched the third one. I've heard Rambo is really good. Even the author said like that's the closest to my creation that they got with the character.
Mhm.
So I still need to watch it. I've heard Last Blood is like, some said it sucked, some said it's like kind of fun, but I haven't seen that one.
It's definitely not the best, but like this is more of a vanity play of Sly Stallone is an executive producer. He'll just get some money and have his name attached. He's not really doing anything in the movie, but of course we know that what's his name, Nate or is it
Noah Centineo.
Noah Centineo. Yeah, he's playing the young Rambo. He, by the way, looks the part. Like he looks surprisingly like the
A
young
little bit,
Sly
yeah.
Stallone.
I mean, not like
So
that guy in I Am Rocky, which I'm excited
that.
about. That looks
Which is
good.
kind of interesting to see. There's two like actors playing the young version of Sly, like around the same time.
But I don't know, like I'm on the fence. I'm like, it could be good, but it's just gonna be a movie, which aren't like bad or anything. It's just like, I mean, like I just go and watch Platoon, like if I.
But this is not a
want to
sequel. This
rewatch
is like a prequel, so that's
is
why
the
they're.
this is because the only thing that comes before fucking First Blood is him in Vietnam. It's like that's the only thing you can really do.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, sure, but like, I don't know. I can't imagine that they'll do anything like unique or interesting other than the fact it's, oh yeah, this is the guy who's gonna be in First Blood. Like,
Yeah, I like Lionsgate was like, we're excited to have him attached. I'm like, this is a PR move and good for Sly Stallone because the last time like he wasn't attached to like, what was it, like was it one of the Rocky movies? He made a really big deal out of it that, you know, oh my god, they went under my nose and stuff, and to the point where Dolph Lundgren was apologizing to him, and that became a whole thing. So I'm like, good on you, Lionsgate. This covers all your butts, and then you know you write a check for Sly to like
but
be out there.
I'm on the
about
fence.
movies.
Like, I want to like it, but I'm just like, eh. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Speaking of stuff I'm not on the fence about, my boy. My bald-headed friendo here, Mike Flanagan signs overall TV deal at Amazon. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Didn't he already sign a deal with Amazon, or was that like not official? Because I remember he was at Netflix, then he jumped over to Amazon, and I thought he already had a deal with them. So
I don't think it was an overall deal, because an overall deal, like now he's like, you know, everything. So I think he was there, but like it wasn't. So this is more of a bump on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this is good. Like it now, you know, it means pretty much everything TV that he makes will be for Amazon MGM, you know, up on the TV.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
like if this is exclusive. So
because like he's working for movies, like he's doing the Exorcist reboot, requel, whatever the fuck that's gonna be, for Universal and Blumhouse. So that's entirely separate. But like I thought because I remember reading that he was signed on with Amazon to develop The Dark Tower, which he's been trying to get made for years at this point. He's doing Carrie right now. He's going to be doing... I don't know if The Mist is going to be a show or a movie. I assume that's going to be a movie. And so I assume like the next thing is probably going to be The Dark Tower.
He has the rights. And the first thing he talked about when he got to Amazon in 2022 was The Dark Tower. So
yeah, he's been trying to get that off for a while. And
yeah.
That would be amazing. Anything would be better than like god-awful Idris Elba movie. So, you know, I've read the first book. I haven't read the rest of the series, but it was really good. Gunslinger was great. Little confusing in terms of the prose, but like it's still, you know, great. Yeah. Honestly, like Mike Flanagan, I want everyone. What do you mean, everyone? Like, you know.
What, you wanted more?
Anyway. You wanted more? Yeah, I'm going to get more. But... yeah, I'm excited for this. I thought Life of Chuck was amazing. Yeah. Mike Flanagan can do no wrong. Even his lesser projects like Midnight Club and Bly Manor, not bad, good, but just could be better. But, you know, everything he's done is just amazing. So,
yep. All right. Let's move from that to Lord of the Rings, shall we? Let's talk about some Lord of...
because it's the Hunt for Gollum movie that nobody gives a fuck about. So, just like ballet and opera, right? Kidding.
Again,
see, that was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Something Timothy doesn't get. But Anya Taylor-Joy, eyed for Lord of the Rings, Hunt for Gollum is female lead. So. I might actually watch it if this is the case, because I have no interest in this. Like, even with Ian McKellen and, you know, Frodo, Elijah Wood coming back, like, all right, that could be. I don't know. I feel like Andy Serkis made one good movie and then hasn't made anything good since then. So
come on now, don't talk about.
No, I mean directing wise, he did a really good job with Mowgli. Let There Be Carnage was bad. Animal Farm looks like dog shit. So like,
Animal Farm is interesting. That one's gonna be interesting.
So we'll see. I mean, but I hope it's good. But yeah.
The speculation is that the female lead of this movie will be the Arwen character that Liv Tyler played in the original movies. So a younger version.
Wrong, sure, yep.
But that would be what Anya Taylor-Joy.
If I had a nickel for every big budget movie with Anya Taylor-Joy where she's playing the younger version of a character we've already seen before, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's worth it.
But also, it doesn't make sense because that Arwen character wasn't right. It wasn't true to the book. So they're gonna they're gonna make her another version that doesn't actually really exist in the story. Fucking good job, gang. Cool, makes sense.
I mean, everyone loves Liv Tyler in those movies, so I don't know, bro.
Yeah, they love her. It doesn't change the fact that that's not what her character did at all in the books.
But yeah, with that next bit of news, which is Vladimir star Leo Woodall rumored to be in talks to play Aragorn in Hunt for Gollum, which
I like him.
He's not Vigo. Who cares?
I like him. He had an Apple TV show that I really like.
I'm sure he's a good actor, but it's like, it's Vigo. Like, come on. He broke his toe for the movie, guys. Like, come on.
Dude, but like Viggo Mortensen is clearly too old for probably what they're looking for.
Fucking put makeup on him. I don't give a shit. Fucking put a wig on him. I don't give a fuck.
I don't even think like if Netflix gave them
decrepit at this point.
The Irishman budget to
like, come on.
Anyway.
He looks like fucking Ian McKellen looked 70 years older in fucking The Hobbit. Who cares? Come on.
Well, look, Leo.
It could be Stuart Townsend, but you know that didn't happen.
But the way, it's a prequel. The Hunt of Gollum is a prequel. Yeah, I mean, well, look, this is one of those David Zaslav priorities, milking the franchise. There definitely are. I mean, because there's only so many books, and the guy who wrote the books died a long time ago. So, like, where are you gonna go? Yep. So, anyway, let's keep on.
I think it's the case of the Silmarillion is like banned from being adapted. So, because I think like Christopher Tolkien's like, we're not allowing this, and that's why Rings of Power couldn't adapt the Silmarillion. That's why they had to invent their own lore because they didn't have the fucking rights to it.
And they had to pay a lot of money for that too, like $500 million just to get the right to do that, like to invent their own anyway.
Anyway. Next up, Elijah Wood. I do not want anybody else to play Frodo as long as I'm alive and able.
I also met him. He's lovely.
Yes, I met Sean Astin and Billy Boyd, but I did not meet Elijah Wood.
That decision is not his to make, but I understand that he's making.
I mean, he's coming back. He's coming back for Run for Gollum. So good for him. But
anyway.
Yeah,
that'd be a good idea. Maybe they will eventually make it into a TV show. Don't you worry, Caleb. They will eventually do that. David Ellison's gonna make money
Harry
somehow.
Potter can do it. They're gonna do it.
Well, once Harry Potter does it and does it well, then I'm sure Lord of the Rings will be next.
We'll see. But next up, Seth MacFarlane compares budget to Marvel movie while giving grim update on potential season 3. Essentially, Seth MacFarlane saying season 3 might not happen because it's too expensive. So, which is kind of what happened with the Orville 2. So, which is kind of a shame. I still need to watch it because I've heard nothing but great things about the show. I've heard season 2 was pretty good too. It's like they got him. What do you mean they got him? What the fuck are you talking about? Man, I really miss him. What do you mean they got him? What are you talking? Anyway, just like that one joke is just.
I just I've been getting way too much marketing for this. I'm like, I don't know, maybe my algorithm thinks that I'm
Family Guy for a while. Like, he stopped producing that show,
but
5, 6, 7 years ago at this point.
But this looks fun. I mean, look, I understand 22 minutes of CGI budget like an Avengers movie. I get it because like She-Hulk was very expensive because they had a total CGI character in every episode for like roughly 22 minutes.
That's probably what, because I heard complaints that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people didn't like the season because it had less Ted in it, like the main character. So I bet that's probably why, because it was so expensive to keep him running around. So
that's the thing, because it's like this concept with a fully CGI character works better as a movie because you can justify a bigger budget, and a 90-minute movie versus you're doing it for 22 minutes for like however many episodes, even if it's just 8 episodes, that's like 3 movies worth, so there's a big investment.
Honestly,
there.
at that point, just do the old Godzilla solution. Just get a guy in a bear suit, and then just act like it's the same. Just like Seth MacFarlane is just in a furry costume, suit. And it's perfect.
That works. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep on going.
But with that, we move on to terrible news. Tink, live action series based on Tinkerbell in the works at Disney Plus from Liz Heldens and Bridget Carpenter. Why?
Tink.
They already ruined her in the fucking Peter and Wendy movie. Why are we doing this?
But like, what's wrong with calling it Tinkerbell? Just call it Tinkerbell. It's 2026. Like, who gives a shit? Like, why do you need to like shorten it to Tink? Like, I thought
hey.
I mean, that's what Peter Pan calls her, but
he gets a free pass. All right, don't be besmirching.
Anyway,
sorry, Liz, you were saying, it's just.
Peter Pan calls her Tink, but again, she's an asshole. She was always written to be an asshole. Why does she get her own show?
Yeah. I don't really know about these creators too much. Bridget Carpenter sort of rings a bell, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyway, we'll see. Disney Plus, it's gonna be limited in scope. I mean, not a lot of people are gonna be watching it. You don't exactly watch Disney Plus for prestige television.
It's not like Apple. Like, come on now.
No, come on. Apple is all prestige TV.
But although moving on with the Disney stuff, Monsters Inc. 3, although technically it's Monsters Inc. 2 because Monsters University was a prequel, but Monsters Inc. 3 in the works at Pixar. Incredibles 3 set for 2028 release. I'm on the fence because I'm not like.
It's a fucking cash grab.
I'm iffy about it, but like.
Listen, The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar film of all time. Monsters Inc. is top 5. But why we don't need 500 fucking sequels for everything. Like, stop it already. I will say,
come up with some original shit. I'm more excited for Monsters Inc. 3 than I am Incredibles 3. I actually liked Incredibles 2. I know that's like.
I thought it was a big downgrade.
It's a downgrade, but it's like I still really liked it.
But we don't fucking need it. Is my point. But like, we don't need either.
I will say.
I thought Monsters University was better.
Monsters University to be very disappointing. I'm excited for the prospect of a sequel rather than a fucking
Monsters Inc. 3 is gonna be Sully gets a girlfriend. I'm fucking telling you right now. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Sully getting a girlfriend.
It's like every
No,
one of those
even
like
better,
story
Mike
tropes.
Got
Wazowski
Like,
getting a
nothing. They
new
have
girlfriend, and
nothing.
then
They have
we'll see how that
nothing.
goes.
That's what it's gonna be. Mike Wazowski
I mean-
with the Medusa-haired lady. Sully's got to get a girlfriend. That's what this fucking movie is gonna be.
by the way,
Sorry.
they also this is all from that same profile that Pete Docter did in the Wall Street Journal. Which, by the way, he also said that they're anticipating Toy Story 5 will be a big hit for them, and they're working on a Coco sequel for 2029. So those were, and then there's a few other like original
How the fuck
movies
you
in
make
the
a
works.
Coco sequel? I don't know, but because like
Now they gotta
Coco
tell
died,
the dead
like that
grandfather's
was the whole
story or
point.
something.
Like,
I know. Don't. It's God's sakes.
By the way, okay,
Yeah.
the one thing that's interesting is one of the original movies he said was it's the first Pixar musical, and it's that One Ghost Market is the name of the movie, and it's going to be a feature film inspired by Asian myths about supernatural bazaars where the living and dead interact. So,
which is essentially Coco but Asian. But cool. I mean, it sounds like a cool idea.
Didn't we have? What was it? Kubo and the Two Strings? Didn't we have something kind of similar to that already?
but that was
anyway?
Well, that
wasn't
was
that
Laika.
Mexico?
No, that was Laika. That was Laika.
No,
the
that was
people who
Laika,
did
but-
Coraline
Oh.
and Paranormal
Oh, right.
and
But
Box
I'm
Trolls.
saying like
Yes.
we've already
Missing
had
Link.
that a story like okay, I just can't. I fucking
But
can't.
Anyway.
I mean, we can have more than one movie about Asian myths.
Yes, that's very
Yeah.
true, John. Thank you. That
Yes,
is very true.
thank you.
And
Moving along.
maybe Pixar can do something interesting and unique with it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
speaking of not interesting and unique, but Hugh Jackman transforms into a rugged Robin Hood in striking first look at intense new film. It's like
This looks like The Revenant almost,
He
like
looks
his.
homeless. He looks homeless. He looks unhoused.
What's
Also,
the
why
who's the
the fuck is
director
an
behind this?
Australian playing a British literature character?
Well, so
They do,
didn't
man.
Michael Cern what's his? How do you
I
say
thought
it?
we already
Sarno-
learned this from Kevin
Sarnos-
Costner playing
Sarnoski?
Robin Hood. Like,
Uh,
non-British people should not, and fucking
Well, he
Russell
didn't
Crowe
use an
too.
accent.
Like, non-British people should not play Robin Hood. I thought
To
we
be
already
fair,
learned
Kevin
this.
Costner didn't even attempt an accent.
Well,
Apparently-
to be fair, that
yeah.
was because they rushed the production and he didn't have time to do an accent, so he
Mhm.
couldn't. Because he's like, he said, he's like, I would
Yeah,
have
but Christian Slater doesn't have an
months.
accent either. Christian Slater didn't do an accent either.
Yeah, because, well, it was a rush production. That's why they didn't do it. And that's why Alan
Still
Rickman's the
works.
best part of that movie.
Love
So,
those
I mean,
movies. That's
Bill
that's one of my
Skarsgård-
top 5 films of all time.
Like if you scroll down, there's Bill Skarsgård and Jodie Comer are also in this movie, and the guy directing this movie, I mean, he's worked for A24 before. He also did A Quiet Place Day One. So this is the same director.
yeah, no, I think he's a great director. He also did
Well,
another
I think the
movie I
movie's
really
gonna
liked.
be great. It's really interesting. The movie's gonna be awesome.
But they're also trying to like take a more darker, more like
He did
like,
Pig. Yeah,
take
I liked
on
both of his
Robin
movies,
Hood.
so
Yeah.
this will
Yeah.
be good. It's just
Yeah.
like they already kind of did like the old Robin Hood thing with Robin and Marion, so I
But
don't know
I think
how
this
they'll
is
do
this
better
is gonna
than
be
that.
darker. Like is dealing more with the idea of like the
Yeah,
death of
he's
Robin
saying
Hood.
He's
in-
not the saint that everybody makes him out to be. He's
Like,
actually
he
just
was-
an assassin / mercenary.
Mercenary, like who like plundered and killed a lot of people, but did he really like
Yeah.
give the money to the poor? And he's sort of like dealing with that like legacy of like what it
I
means
do
as somebody
love
who's old and, like,
breaking down
so-
hopeful heroes by making them gritty and edgy. I just love that. Don't you?
Yeah.
I
Gone
mean,
the days
it's-
are belly
it's
laughs
deconstructing
and helping people because
Robin
they
Hood.
can. Now it's everything's grim, dark, and edgy for the sake of being grim, dark, and edgy. Thanks, Zack Snyder. Look what you've done to fucking Hollywood.
I knew you were going there. Let's keep going.
But I don't know. It just seems like I'm on the fence because I really like the director. I thought Pig was excellent. I was very much surprised by Day One. So I don't know. It just seems like it's just dark for the sake of dark, and I'm just like, all right. We did that for the fucking Russell Crowe, Ridley Scott, Robin Hood, and that was not very good. So it's just like I want to see like an attempt at like the Errol Flynn era because that's still the best Robin Hood movie. No one's gonna come
I
close
agree.
to that movie. So
I agree.
why not even like I don't know, try to do something in that
Yeah.
vibe? I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
we'll see. We'll see. Comes out this year. Go see
Yep.
it, I guess. Let's keep
But next up, TriStar lands forthcoming Ben Mesrich novel, The Last Orbit. Matt Shackman to direct feature take with Beau Flynn producing.
So
Congrats.
So this is a book that isn't even really out yet, but like it will be out by the time the movie comes out. This is based on like partly real life events. Remember there was like this asteroid that people thought was gonna hit Earth like not too long ago. It's actually, now that we've gotten more observations of it, we know it's not going to hit Earth, because like the more observations you have, the more accurate the data. So they've been able to like chart its actual trajectory. It's not going to hit Earth. But this book is kind of like, you know, speculative fiction, and like it's like, oh, what if that asteroid was going to hit Earth, which at the time when it was written we still thought it would. So this is like a bit of like a sci-fi sort of a thing about an asteroid potentially hitting Earth, and then how that plays out, I guess.
Don't look up.
Although I don't know, I think this might be more sci-fi heavy, less like social commentary. But anyway, I mean, Matt Shakman did
just
Fantastic
I don't know,
Four,
like Deep Impact and all that shit. So
yeah, that asteroid is not gonna hit Earth. Don't worry.
Damn
At
it.
least not that one. At least not that.
Not that one. Maybe another one, but not that one. Okay, let's keep going.
Anywho, somehow Jeff Daniels returned into a newsroom. He's joining the morning show for season 5.
Surprise!
You got the reference.
I did. I haven't seen Newsroom. I heard it was fucking excellent.
It's an amazing show. It's an amazing show. HBO.
I also haven't seen Morning Show, but like somehow, what was his character's name on Newsroom?
I don't remember. I mean, it was with Emily Mortimer was in it.
John Gallagher Jr. was, I think, in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was remember when the Tea Party was still a thing? Oh wow, goes with the good old days.
Will McAvoy. Somehow
Will
McAvoy
returned. Yes. There you go. You got to it before I could. I mean, that show I feel like could have run for more seasons, but anyway, yeah. I mean, I told Fiona about this. She's like, I gotta catch up because she's been watching the show. I'm like, you gotta catch up when season 5 comes out.
Yeah, I gotta tell my parents because both of them watch Newsroom and they both watch this. So I'd be like, hey, guess who's coming to dinner? It's your boy. So
Jeff Daniels.
He's
also the guy who gets like killed off in like the most like dumbass way in Speed. Like, and he talked about it like it was such
he fucking exploded. Like, I don't know what
I know. Anyway,
anywho,
way back in his old days.
But speaking of explosive hotness, I don't know. Brooke Snyder cast in Fox's Baywatch reboot. She plays the swimsuit model Thorn in Hobie. I don't plan to watch this at all. I don't really care about Baywatch.
No.
If it doesn't have The Rock, who cares? If it doesn't have Alexandra Daddario, who cares? Like, come on.
Or Zac Efron.
Or that fat
Pamela
guy that nobody
Anderson.
remembers because he was the shitty comic relief. But yeah, cool. I guess hot. Great. Anywho, next up. Paul Bettany hasn't heard anything about playing Voldemort in HBO's Harry Potter series, but says he's a big fan of the franchise. Yeah, he's like, hey,
He'd be fucking great for it. I mean, he would be great for it.
I mean, he's he's used to wearing a lot of makeup as Vision, so I think that's kind of where it is.
Dots on his
yeah,
face. Yep.
I think that'd be cool. I do enjoy a good Paul Bettany, and he's used to being dressed in white because he played that albino guy in Da Vinci Code. So boom, there you go. Next up, speaking of Robin Hood, going back to Robin Hood, thank the stars, but Disney's Robin Hood remake is not moving forward, so unfortunately we will not produce another generation of furries.
Just keep releasing it in theaters at their anniversary. It doesn't fucking need it. It's a perfect film. Shut the fuck up.
It's great. Although a friend of mine made a joke.
Perfection.
He's like, oh, the only way you could have done this properly is if you recycled 75% of the Jungle Book remake. And it's like, yeah.
100%. 100%. There's nothing wrong with this movie.
But
you don't need to remake it.
I mean, nothing against Carlos Lopez Estrada. I'm sure, good director, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the name. It's just like, it doesn't need it. It
doesn't need it, babe.
The Aristocats didn't need it. Tangled sure as fuck doesn't need it, but that's not stopping them. So, Moana doesn't need it with, no. Speaking of no, Avatar 4 likely to happen. No.
What? Hold on. There was always going to be Avatar. There was always going to be 5 Avatars. Always going to be 5 Avatars. He keeps talking about how they filmed parts of this and we filmed that. Why every time a fucking Avatar comes out the following year, we'll probably keep going with it. We know there's going to be 5. What the fuck are these headlines?
Because there was the worry that since Avatar 3 didn't make $2 billion, that it wasn't that Avatar 4 wasn't going to happen.
Well, make a better one. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm
Way of Water. I mean, not Way of Water. Fire and Ash was the best
Fire and
one.
Ash.
So
Agreed.
but
Whatever.
yeah.
I'm so this is like the fucking the whole buyout thing. Like I'm so fucking sick and tired of talking about goddamn Avatar.
Anyway, Mandalorian and Grogu, Empire Magazine. We already kind of covered this, but Grogu
They got a new trailer out.
Grogu is in the chat, I think, hopefully still. But there you go. There's your brother.
They got a new trailer out. So good. Can't wait. I'm so excited.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yes. May is
Although
gonna be the best month
Grogu
of
is
the
not
year.
cool. He's not as cool as Grogu. Grogu's cooler.
Well, I can agree on that, sure.
But yeah, nice
New
to see.
trailer.
Very nice.
New trailer dropped. So good.
But why Din Djarin's helmet came off in The Mandalorian and Grogu,
Gotta watch
and
the
why it
film
made
and find
perfect
out.
sense. Why
Gotta
is
watch
this
the film and
news? He
find out.
fucking took it off in the show. Why is this fucking
did.
news?
Yep.
Why is
Anyway.
Liz? You watch the show. Why is this news?
I sure do. It's because I think people are because he said he would never take it off again. He had vowed he would never do it again. So something happens that forces him to he doesn't take it off anyway. If you actually watch the trailer, that it's taken off from him. Anyway, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Nice. Next up, Google arranged partner with X Prize for a $3.5 million sci-fi film competition. The competition is meant to promote optimistic science fiction storytelling. Okay, I'm cool with that. I like that. I'm sick of this like Expanse shit where it's like everything's depressing and the future's gonna suck and blah blah blah, and then Star Trek getting royally buttfucked, so that sucks now. I'm all for optimistic sci-fi storytelling. Hell yeah.
Although
like, for
I
all
will
mankind, that's optimistic. More of that, please.
I mean, unless you're Joel Kinnaman's character. What's his name
Unless
again?
you're Joel Kinnaman, but like
Unless you're Joel Kinnaman.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, $3.5 million doesn't get you far in Hollywood, but like I appreciate that they're doing this. So
Yeah.
maybe like an indie movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Although speaking of very cool, how we all feel after watching Harrison Ford accept his Lifetime Achievement Award from SAG-AFTRA. He thanked George and Steven. This needs to hang in the Lucas Museum. Just like, it's perfect.
Aww.
Like Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford being emotional and then just like dead George Lucas.
Yeah.
Like not
looks like
giving
he's
a
waiting
fuck.
for a
It's like
bus.
very typical George Lucas.
Yeah.
And I just go back to Carrie Fisher
Looks
stand-up.
like
I don't
confused.
think that man has ever smiled, ever.
He also looks confused. Like he looks like he doesn't know why he's
He's
there.
like, why am I not getting the Lifetime Achievement Award? What the fuck? What? Although to be fair, he did get the Donald Reed Award at the Saturn Awards, so like, good for him there. But yeah. Anyway,
I think
why did
George
make
Lucas
Star
is.
Wars? That's a great question. I think we're all asking that now, but
No, I don't think he has any second thoughts about that. He wouldn't be as rich as he is, without it. So
anyway.
but yeah.
But thanks
Crickets.
for watching the news portion of the show. We have DCU Daily still.
Thank you, Assassins and
When it hits
MPS. We'll
midnight.
get to the lanterns. Yeah.
But thanks for watching this side. And Dan, what are we at the beginning? What
Blessed.
are we at the beginning? Yes, perfect.
Blessed.
There we go.
That's the answer.
There you go.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka.
All right, welcome on in to another episode of DCU Daily. We got a lot to talk about, as always. We got a bunch of quick hits. I mean, we just did the news quick hits, but now, yeah, we're gonna get some nuts. Or let's get nuts. Anyway, hello Nelson, how are you doing in the chat? Yeah, victory mine, DC keep hope alive. We're working on that hashtag blessed. What can I, Caleb? You know what? Calm down. Hey, Jalen. Hello. Hello.
Just in time.
Just
for
in
DCU
time.
Daily. So you got
I
it.
mean,
You know, you're good. You're good.
It's like I do sometimes wonder though, Jalen. Like you talk about it as if like you run in and turn on the TV. Like you could tune into us on like your phone on the way back. You know, like I don't know like what your situation is, but like anyway, John, what are you excited to talk about with DC?
I'm excited to talk about I'm excited to talk about the comic book side of things. Like I think there's a lot of fun stuff there. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, we got Bronca in the chat. Yeah, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Well,
are they like honka? I'm confused.
Well, I think it's Brogu saying hello to Caleb, and then Caleb saying hello back to Brogu. So it's anyway. Yeah, Jalen just probably waited until the DC portion, pretended that he got here. Yeah, likely story. You know, that's probably what happened.
That's okay.
But anyway,
that's okay.
I mean,
we know this is the best part of the show, so
yeah.
you know.
Although it's a little late in the night for Liz because she, had a long day doing her day job. So she is calling it in for the night. But thank you, Liz, for joining us for the show earlier. And yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing a tier list Tuesday on, as of right now, the best movie, Oscar nominees.
The nominees,
so
although Yash is probably going to use his 16 accounts to like change it in his favor. So we'll see if that's
Don't
the
worry.
case.
We'll. I think there's a sizable lead there. Maybe we might be safe, but we'll see. But let's talk about DC. Let's talk about DC.
And as I mentioned before, the comic side, DC and Marvel are officially
Buchanan
bringing
Rewind.
back the JLA/Avengers crossover series with brand new printing, so that's very exciting. The acclaimed 2003 limited series by Kurt Busiek and George Perez are going to be back in print. They're going to be reprinted in its original form as new facsimile editions with original trade dress and wraparound covers, with Marvel set to publish 1 and 3 in May and July, and DC releasing Avengers JLA 2 and 4 in June and August. So May, Marvel, June, DC, July, Marvel, 4, August. So like bam, bam, bam. So like boop, boop, going back and forth. The issues will also be available with new variant covers set to be unveiled at a later date. So this is very exciting. If you wanted reprints of these, then we're getting them. I mean, with all the crossover stuff that's been happening, like with Batman, Deadpool, Superman and Spider-Man, all that stuff. So, yeah, so that's very exciting. I don't think he lifted Thor's hammer in the story, though. I know Wonder Woman did, but I don't think Superman did. But anyway, but yeah, this is awesome to see. I'll probably try to buy this if it's not too expensive.
I love this news. I saw this and I was like, this is cool. I love that there's a lot more Marvel
Brogu.
DC collaboration. Good night, Brogu. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like on the way out. Yeah, this is the way.
This is indeed the way. But
yeah, more Marvel DC collabs. That's always good to see.
Land party interns? What?
I think I don't know. Maybe that's a Lanterns reference.
I don't know.
All right,
but oh, by the way, we forgot to put there we go. The Ducks, Pelicans, and Parrots of the DC universe. Yeah, forgot to put the.
There we go. It's all good. It's all good.
That's okay. But next up we have
Speaking of Spider-Man,
Superman. Sanford Green said it's one thing to be asked by Marvel and DC Comics to illustrate a cover for the Spider-Man Superman event, but it's an entirely different thing to be asked to pay homage to one of the most iconic covers ever. Respect to the late great, although he spelled late wrong, George Perez. So this is awesome to see. I think this is really cool, and I think Sanford Green did a really great job with that. Kind of having that new style, but like it works, and I think this is awesome.
Yeah, I love the look of this. This was like one of the surprises of the day over the weekend when I saw this. So I can't wait to see if I can get my hands on one of these when it comes out. But yeah, I mean, by the way, the Spider-Man Superman crossover isn't out yet, but I think the pre-orders are starting.
I think there's maybe I think you could have gotten it like earlier, but I think the pre-orders are done. So
now you gotta just wait till they actually.
You gotta wait till it comes out now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is awesome to see.
Absolutely, it is.
But next up, now we have Marquis Draper. For all the new people on here, welcome. I'm Marquis, and I'm an associate editor at DC. Here's a few of the new of the announced titles I'm working on, which is New Titans. I assume this is either Spectre or Green Arrow. I can't really tell. I assume Spectre. And then you have Wonder Woman, which, you know, is Tom King related. So let's talk about that less. Deathstroke, Zatanna, Firestorm, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Static Beyond, which is really cool.
Ooh.
So
I didn't know I wanted to see that. That looks interesting. Okay. Dude, Immortal Hulk, Absolute Batman would be one hell of a crossover. That's a good idea. I hope somebody's in a position of power is listening. So
it looks a little like Green Arrow, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's got the hood and all that, but it's Spectre. So yeah, we don't talk about that. Like, ugh, God, gross, Tom King. But yeah,
anyway,
everything else.
This looks again. DC Comics has been killing it of late. Like you mentioned it, John. It's just the absolute universe is literally carrying the comic book world on its back right now. So good to see that DC's got a few other titles on the way that look very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next up, unfortunately we have to break up the good news with this shit. So we've absolutely talked about it quite a bit. We live in a world where all that's possible in whatever form it would take, that would be amazing. So Zack Snyder's still hoping for Justice League 2 and 3. Just fucking do it so he can stop talking about it. Just make comics and we're fine.
Look, here's the thing. I just wanted to kind of ask the question, John. Do you think that Paramount would be interested in giving Zack Snyder any kind of budget to kind of do one of these?
Maybe not. I don't think they're really that's really a priority for them right now. So I mean, if like 2026 is a shit year for DC, maybe, but I can't imagine that's.
But like in a again, and I'm not trying to make this a big talking point, but I'm just thinking like you could keep the DCU as is. Like let's keep the DCU going. But like, would they be like, oh, let's in parallel try this and see if there's any traction on it? Do you think like David Ellison, in the interest of, because remember when they did like the whole reason why the Snyder Cut, like the Zack Snyder's Justice League existed or came into existence is because HBO Max was like, we need reasons for people to subscribe to HBO Max when it first launched. Similarly, if Paramount is trying to make the numbers on their 30 movies a year with like Warner Brothers, do you think they're like, James, keep doing what you're doing, but we're just going to like give Zack Snyder the money to maybe do a Justice League 2 and a 3. I mean, granted, you also have to bring the actors back. Like, will Jason Momoa be open to doing that and while playing, Lobo at the same time? I don't know if anybody's going to want to go back and work with Ezra Miller, maybe not even Zack Snyder, but then you have the other actors. I mean, Gal Gadot, I'm sure, is available. Ben Affleck would be more of a question, but maybe Zack Snyder could convince him.
No,
Henry
he's
Cavill's
Batman,
a busy
not the
dude.
question. Two different characters, Dan. Two different
characters. But yeah, but I'm just theoretically, I'm saying, would it be just as a numbers play? Here's an idea that's already mostly, I don't know, like sorted out or in some way, give him $150 million. And do you think David Ellison would make that decision?
No, hell no. Fuck no. He's like, here's like an audio drama. That's all you fucking get. Go fetch. Or maybe a comic book, but I think that makes sense. A comic book, maybe an animated movie, but like that's.
I mean, all good points. Is the budget too? I mean, they spent just like 75-80 million finishing the movie that got to HBO Max. You add that to what they had spent making the movie before Whedon came in. That Justice League movie was way too expensive for them to try anything like that again.
You want to know the funniest
I'm just posing the question
about that Justice League movie is the fact that that's what apparently the Justice League Mortal movie was going to cost, was like about like 280 to 300 million. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. That's too expensive. Yet the actual Justice League movie cost $300 million.
I mean, because they reshot most of it like twice, so it's anyway. It's just
it's just kind of funny how there was another thing where it was like the Godzilla movie where Jean DeBont, the original director, asked for like, I don't know, 110-20 million, and like, no, that's too expensive. Then they got Roland Emmerich, and then that movie eventually cost $120 million. So like, go figure. We're not going to do that. Too expensive. Get another director, causes a huge production problems that eventually costs more expensive than what you originally wanted to do. Oh, well.
Yeah. No, well, just wanted to say maybe I don't know. I guess we'll see.
No, it's not like he gets no say. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like this is like a what if situation, which like let's hope it stays dead. Anyway.
Yeah.
But speaking of Zack Snyder, talking about his only good movie, Watchmen. He had a piece of this from the 1940s version of Watchmen with the first Silk Spectre, the first Night Owl, and all the other people, the Dollar Bill and all that shit, and the comedian. So,
yeah,
good stuff. Also, a cat. There is a cat on screen.
Yeah.
There he is.
Look, you want to say hi? Look. Let's say hi. Oh, yeah, no.
He's like, I'm camera shy. Get the fuck out of here.
This is a she, but yes.
Whatever.
The he is down there. He's lying on the carpet. But anyway, go ahead.
Then this is something that I found to be very nice. Was there's a saying that goes, "Be the reason someone believes in goodness again." Not because you're perfect, but because you chose to be kind when you had every reason not to. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness can restore a faith the world tried to take away. So, that's pretty awesome. I love to see it.
I saw this is like, you know, if somebody's going through a rough time, I mean, don't just send them this, but I think this is definitely, again, the value of Superman, but also like what Superman represents. Like, this doesn't just have to be Superman. Like, any one of us could be that kind of person to somebody else in, you know, who's struggling. Because we are all, like, every person you meet is probably fighting a battle that you don't know about. And I think it's just, you know, like, try to see the best in others. That's the real punk rock. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So this is very nice to see. And then now we're getting into some like Wonder Woman-esque things. Is Courtney Eaton is interested in playing Wonder Woman in the DCU and hopes to audition for the role. And I don't know who this chick is, but she looks like Sasha Calle from Temu. So,
I don't know if I've seen her in much. I thought I saw somebody like comment on this, talking about what she might have been in before. One of you guys might know.
She was in Gods of Egypt, Yellow Jackets, Mad Max Fury Road. So.
Okay,
cool.
That's a good one. I mean, Gods of Egypt wasn't the best movie, but interesting. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. I mean, sure, she would look the part.
Yeah,
maybe not the best resume.
I'm not really, you know, familiar with her, so we'll see. But in terms of stuff I definitely don't want to happen, some guy posted this terrible AI image of Millie Bobby Brown as Wonder Woman, and the only thing I can think of is, I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but the Kevin Smith movie called Cop Out, and there was a famous scene where Tracy Morgan just says no over and over again, and he's like, no, hell no,
Well, look,
hell no.
I mean,
no. No, and that's pretty much my thoughts when
right.
I see this image.
Well, photo aside, I don't know if Millie Bobby Brown is the best pick for that character. I would love to see her in a different role in DC, but
and
I mean,
this is what I said. This is what I commented. I said Terry Crews would be a better choice.
Oh my god, come on! Nothing against Millie Bobby Brown. I just think she's maybe best cast in a different role.
Yeah, different role.
Yeah.
She would be good Raven, like from Teen Titans, although I think she's too old now, but yeah, that would be better.
Well, maybe you could, but I don't know, it depends on the iteration of the character, but anyway, yeah.
But yeah, no, hell no. No, hell no. Anyway, thanks Tracy Morgan for that one. But Warner Brothers will host its CinemaCon panel on April 14th from 4:30 to 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and that would be...
That'd be 1:30
7:30
or no, yeah, the other way.
9:30 on the East Coast. Right. So
April 14th, what is that? Is that is what day of the week? Are we going to be live that day? Because we'll probably be talking about it.
That's a Tuesday, I think.
It's a Tuesday. All right, so that night we'll be talking about all the Warner Brothers announcements, including DC that week.
Or Wednesday, since maybe it's a little bit too late, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Then the last quick hit. The main trailer for Supergirl is reportedly set to release next month, which I assume is conjunction with CinemaCon.
I mean, that is the speculation. I mean, I don't know, like for sure. Do you think they'll release it around that time? Because
I mean, it feels like it makes sense. It just makes sense. Like that, it's probably going to be
April,
the case
May,
for
June,
Brand New
yeah.
Day because everyone's like, oh, it might be in front of Project Hail Mary, but then they're like, oh, but it might be at CinemaCon. More than likely, it's going to be at CinemaCon. I feel like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm out of treats, so that's just. I mean, I agree. I think this would make sense. Like you said, the timing of it would make sense. All right. Okay. I don't know if I can't see you because there's a.
Oh God, get that off screen! Jesus Christ! Now we're gonna get demonetized for cat ass. Gross.
It's okay.
Ah, damn. All right. Although speaking of green light, Jalen, we are gonna be talking about where is it? There you are.
Tonight's show has had a little bit of everything. I would definitely say tonight's show has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Had Lizz on the show. We talked about Arnold. You know, we did our best. Arnold. Chill. Get to the chopper. Anyway.
But speaking of lanterns, there is pretty much more of a reaction to the trailer the other day. Ethan Van Sciver, who is a Green Lantern comic book artist, says the series is called Lanterns because it will explore more colors beyond just green. The show is called Lanterns because it will also introduce other colors on the spectrum, at least yellow. Yeah, I would believe that. However, there's literal photographic evidence of Damon Lindelof saying that we called it Lanterns because Green Lantern sounded stupid. So this goes right out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Sorry, like that. If there was no footage of that, I'd be like, okay, that was my guess. That was my guess. Like, oh, it's going to feature yellow lanterns, maybe red lanterns. Oh, that's why it's called Lanterns, not Green Lanterns. Okay, I could see that. But, like, the fact that, like, Damon Lindelof fucking said, yeah, we didn't call it Green Lanterns because it sounded stupid. Out the window. Out the fucking window. So, Ethan, your shit means nothing to me.
I would be weirded out if you thought that his shit actually meant anything to you.
Anyway, so
speaking of cat butt,
speaking of cat butt, this show is cat butt. Although he's not the only person that was talking about it. Ron Mars, one of the most iconic writers of Green Lanterns, praises the Lantern teaser. I like the teaser. I don't know how we got to the point where some people think they have a duty to complain about everything that doesn't please them. Maybe you should find something you like and focus on that. Yeah, I am going to focus on something I like. I'm going to go watch the Green Lantern animated series because that was like actually good and understood the assignment. So I'm just going to I'm just going to watch that in the meantime and remind me what Green Lantern actually is. But like I have, while we still have freedom of speech in this country, I'm still going to exercise that. So Ron Mars, you can frankly suck my nuts. I'll complain if I fucking want to complain. All right. If you like it, that's cool. You have every right to exercise your freedom of speech. I'm glad you liked it. I am not one of those people. So have fun with that.
Caleb, I hope you're not being held hostage by this show. But
oh my God, he told me, oh no, Ron Mars, I will never meet or interact with who I barely know. Yeah, most iconic writer. I've never fucking heard of this guy. He's not Denny O'Neil. Get the fuck out of here. Still, he's not Jeff Johns.
I agree. I'm a Swag fan. I agree with you.
Anyway.
Well, here's the thing, though. I was just gonna say to what M2G was saying. You do have Sinestro. We know, like, Ulrich Thompson. So we'll probably get at least one other color lantern. I don't know if they're going to show it.
There's some reports, some rumors. Sorry, not reports. There's some rumors that Garrett Dillahunt's character is going to be Black Hand, or Black Hand is going to show up in the show. There's another rumor that Atrocitus is going to show up in the show. So that's maybe the case, but like we don't know just yet. We don't know. Yeah. And look, here's the thing: these writers, I don't know how
like, well, not Ron, but like Ethan, how connected they are to the show or how much they know. But I also understand what Ron is saying. Like, I agree with Swag Fan. I like the trailer overall. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10, 6.5, 7 out of 10, which is not blow me away great review of the trailer, but it's still only a trailer. So I'm like, if that's the starting point, maybe there's more there that will convince me over time. I also like, if you take it with the lanterns part of it, the show looks very interesting, exciting, is right up my alley of like, alien mystery, murder mystery kind of a thing. So I don't think we're getting Saint Walker, but John would definitely eat his words if that happened.
Wrong. I'll apologize to everyone if this show manages to be a fucking 10 out of 10. I will get on camera and offer to suck the dick of Tom King himself if this show is a 10 out of 10. All right? I will fucking come on here and fucking say that. But I don't think it's going to be a 10 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of 10. Maybe a 9 out of 10. But if this is a perfect 10 out of 10, no flaws whatsoever, I'll do exactly that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, like you guys are saying, it's a teaser, 7 out of 10. I mean, like, we'll probably get a bigger, more story trailer before the show comes out, probably after Supergirl releases. And look, HBO in general have a pretty good track record. So look, there's hope yet to be had.
Now I'm just saying, I hope the show sucks. I'll apologize. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I was wrong about Hoppers. I mean, I don't know if the show, I personally don't know if the movie's good or not, but I spent a long time clowning on that movie, and it's apparently great. So I can admit when I'm wrong. So,
Yeah, your words to God's ears, as Enterprising is saying. But let's keep going.
Hang on. I got my chapstick right here. I got my BlizzTex. So, there we go. But next up, the Lantern. I have seen this around. The Lanterns trailer teases the second Hal Jordan Green Lantern suit. In the Lantern trailer released this week, if you slow down the speed and turn the brightness all the way up, you'll see the second suit bag with the Green Lantern symbol is shown before it's pushed aside to the suit that is shown clearly. So, yeah, I mean...
Too bad it looks like the same suit,
It looks like the same exact suit.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love the shirt. It's so comfortable. Like, it's just like, I love Spider-Man, but it's just like, oh my god, it's such a comfortable shirt.
This is like one of your favorite shirts. I've seen you in this like countless times.
Yeah, so, because it's nice and big, it's nice and soft. I love it so much.
I love. I mean, I actually used to have a couple of those like really soft con shirts, and
yeah.
I mean, I outgrew them, but like
where it's like kind of like heathered, so it's just,
yes,
it's just like ooh,
it's
nice.
soft.
It's
like
perfect.
You don't even feel it. Like it's.
Because the thing is, I want to get more shirts like this. They're available from King Size, like it's for which is like a company made for fat people who need bigger sizes. But I've considered getting like a similar shirt because they have a Thor shirt that's like kind of the same material, but I'm like scared it won't be as good. So I'm like, I don't want to waste the money on it. So,
Well, I mean, hey.
But I've also seen the theory that since the big rumor, and it's most likely the case that the murder they're investigating is Alan Scott, that some people are theorizing this is actually Alan Scott's costume, hence why it looks so gross and old and handmade. So we'll see if that's the case. And they're going for like less of like that golden age, like kind of quote unquote cheesy look with the red and the purple. That this might be, quote unquote Alan Scott's, Green Lanterns.
Was there a lantern in like that wall of the mural, MetaHumans mural? Do we remember?
I don't think Alan Scott was in that mural. Okay,
so cool. Well, I mean, there's room for expansion. I mean, that wasn't a definitive like, oh, these are the MetaHumans of the DCU back in the day.
I know Vibe was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not likely, but like obviously we'll see if that's the case. I mean, it could be Dan's theory that actually the fucking, the murderer is Guy Gardner, but I think that would be a stupid fucking thing to do.
Well, look, it looks like it's metal that's patinaed, like if it was copper, but then again, that would mean that would be yellow, and now it's turned green. Maybe it's a yellow lantern.
Or maybe it's, fucking, I don't know, Sinestro's costume, and that's why.
I mean, I would say these suits look closer to, like, the space suits they used in Stargate, like Stargate Atlantis, like the ancient space suits.
I mean, that's what they're basing it off of Green Lantern Earth 1, which is, like, essentially, Hal Jordan found the ring in his flight suit, And
Yeah.
so that's essentially the vibe they're going after. I mean, they said that already. That was the image that they fucking announced the show with was, you know,
Right. That was no, exactly. Which I mean, it adds up in that sense.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
it makes sense, but it still looks like shit. It looks like poop.
Well, you know, some people decided they were gonna take that and maybe
And
turn
make it
into
better.
less shit. Yes,
It can. It's good, but it can be better. So with that, although they did have the Captain America scales a little bit, but this Green Lantern suit looks so much cooler than the official one. Yeah, it looks like it's green. Wow, crazy.
Thank you, Just Some Geeky Guy. Yeah, very neat.
I'm wearing a blue shirt, and my shit's greener than the fucking actual show. So
your shit's greener than this actual. Say that again. What?
Life is
anyway.
good, but it can be better.
Yes,
Anyway.
Wonder Woman 84. Dude, like that was a amazing trailer to a not very good movie. That trailer like with Blue Monday, that was an amazing Wonder Woman trailer. That's still one of the
color green cut.
I mean, I'm sure somebody will go ahead and do
the
that. Remember when they like
banner that
recolored
we
the
have
Man of
with
Steel?
fucking Aaron Pierre looks better.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I would love to see that suit, especially like a bigger logo. I mean, the logo looks super tiny. Like I never thought that I would be looking at like the Guy Gardner suit from like the Justice Gang and thinking that's the superior Lantern suit, because I didn't think that was a good Lantern suit, because it's not a Lantern
It's just like
suit.
what I always liked, and this is different for everybody. I always liked the
Yeah.
super fucking big, like
Right.
for instance, what I would love to see, like, I'm not saying like an adaptation of this, but like I just in terms of the size,
Yep.
like Alex Ross Kingdom Come, where like it takes up the entire chest. Like
Yeah.
that big. I want to see like Superman that big, Green Lantern like almost that big, like kind of that size. The Flash, where it's just like the huge lightning bolt. Like I'd like to see stuff like that because I think that would be really cool.
Because like for a moment, like this is the tonal inconsistency kind of bothers me, because like think about it, like you could say like Superman, like you want to have a universe that kind of vibes together and but at the same time have different tones. Marvel has done that well at times. There was also like the early era where it felt like every movie sort of felt very similar. Actually not so much. Like I mean, Phase 1 had its like actually quite a bit of diversity, but then at some point we got to a point where every Marvel movie kind of felt like a Marvel movie. The thing I'm wondering about, because like two things can be true at the same time. You can have your cake and eat it too. But like in Superman, they don't just stay in Metropolis. They go to Smallville. They also kind of show us like, you know, the other Baravia stuff clearly. And people in all of those environments are used to a role with metahumans. They're used to a big dude in a red cape for 3 years now, flying around wearing the, you know, his underwear on the outside in a really like, you know, not royal blue, but like a proper blue costume, not to mention the Justice Gang and, you know, like the Green Lantern powers and how they're showcased and all that. And we have freaking Metamorpho in the movie. So, and you know, they've been around the metahumans have been around for 3,000 years. That versus this, just, I'm like, it's hard to reconcile that then this show's need to downplay the fantastical. But again, it's just a teaser so far. So maybe, you know, that's where we start. Maybe it's a prequel. I don't know if like it being a prequel to Superman would still make any sense, considering metahumans have been a thing for 3,000 years and Superman, you know, just became a public figure 3 years ago in that world. So yeah, like it's like, and like you said, John, what bothers me more than anything, just the trailer itself, is how the creators of the show have been talking about it. It's more than just the teaser. Like you could, if you just go out the teaser and say it's just a teaser, but the part of me does wonder, you know, because like this suit looks so much better, and there's not a lot that they did to this. They just changed some textures, up the, you know, the saturation. The logo even looks better, even though they didn't change the size. The textures on like the rest of the costume looks nice. This is even a bit more of an improvement. I feel like they got one version of that, the one that we were just talked about, and then there's like 3 other versions that all look, you know, or 2 other versions that look significantly
and
better.
then the version where they essentially just colored it in green.
Even at the very least, I personally, like you, prefer the bigger logo, like what we see in that fan art looks better. The Ryan Reynolds suit looks better. I get like the show is dark and mature, but like Caleb is pointing out sarcastically, dark and mature doesn't, like Marvel has shown us, like you could still have a Captain America in a Winter Soldier movie, right? Like it's, and even Civil War, was a pretty serious movie, and yet they had the airport fight scenes with all the like the Marvel like signature humor. So and then like Supergirl sort of feels like somewhere in between. Like it's got the brown everything looks a little brown and earthy, when you should be if James Gunn was directing it, you would feel like every world was different. But again, in both instances, we're going off a singular trailer so far. And by the way, like with the Batman, I appreciate what they're doing with the Batman, but it's its own thing. I don't think it hurt grounding that Batman. I mean, you still have the Ben Affleck Batman in the DCEU that's more fantastical. And I think, despite everything else, one thing that Zack Snyder did well was he was able to kind of create a Batman that you could see as more of a grounded character fighting in Gotham City, but then still exist in the same world as Superman. And despite the fact we didn't get to see a ton of him in Gotham City outside of those movies that Snyder directed, I thought that Batman did the good job of balancing the two. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm digressing at this point. But look, HBO rarely misses. Pacerland, I agree with you. I just feel like, again, it's a little concerning that how far removed, the thinking behind this show is from what Superman is, from what Supergirl is, especially because you would eventually want, and I think the idea is for Jon Stewart to meet up with the rest of those heroes once upon a time. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of expressing some concern.
And that's fair. Like, it's, I think, like, I didn't mesh with the trailer. I didn't like the color scheme. I don't like the vibe. I don't like the setting. I think the two leads are horribly mischaracterized. They just don't feel like the characters to me. The whole vibe is off. Like, it just doesn't feel like Green Lantern to me. If people are excited for it, that's fine. That's okay to me. It's just like I have the whole vibe of the trailer fell off. Like, it didn't work for me, and it just feels like Hal Jordan is like a Texan douche, and then you have Jon Stewart, who's like the over. You know what this feels like. You know what this feels like, Dan? This feels like Diet Top Gun Maverick, but bad. Because it's like Hal Jordan feels like, feels like Maverick, but like not nearly as charismatic or as interesting as how Tom Cruise would make it. And Jon Stewart feels like Glenn Powell in Top Gun Maverick, where it's just like he's just like this fucking asshole who doesn't care about anything, blah blah blah. And it's just like that doesn't feel like the characters to me. That feels like Tom King watched Top Gun Maverick and he's like, I can make something out of this. And don't get me wrong, I think Tom Cruise could have made a great Hal Jordan in the 80s, but I just don't think that this like dynamic, like it seems like they took those characters from that movie and just copy pasted onto Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan when they don't feel like those characters at all. Not saying like Jon Stewart can't be an asshole, and not saying Hal Jordan can't be like a douche, but like, it just feels so off to me. It feels so off. So
it's and again, everything I'll color with like, there's more trailers to yet to come, probably more footage and more commercials or like more ad spots. By the way, yes, we have only 2 months to go, or no, not 2 months, but 3 months to go till Supergirl.
I'm glad you're happy, Enterprising.
Thank you, Steven, for pointing that out. But yeah.
Well, I think like from
Go ahead, Sean.
what I've read, like I haven't read like every fucking comic ever of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, but I remember reading Grant Morrison stuff, and like in the how Hal is in the show. Again, it's only a trailer, so we don't know like all the major things, but it just seems like Hal in that show is just like the like veteran who hates everything and doesn't care about anything kind of vibe, where I don't think Hal Jordan would ever like be like that. Because I feel like Hal Jordan, even after his peak, he would still be like, there's a reason he's the greatest Green Lantern. Like he has that title. But I think there's more of a stoicism to Hal Jordan, and he can be a little cocky. Don't get me wrong, he can be cocky, but I feel like there's more of like not regality, but like there's like a charismatic stoicism to Hal Jordan as a character. Like he can be a bit cocky, he's charismatic, but he's still like he can still be a leader. he could still like be like, I am Hal Jordan, like I can like bring greatness to the Green Lantern Corps, all that stuff. I don't feel that from Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan. I just feel like he's a guy who's sick of doing this and wants to move on, kind of thing. John Stewart,
it's
I
his
feel
characterization, like specific characterization.
It's just John Stewart is he's more hard-headed, which is not totally up. I feel like in terms of the characters, I feel like Aaron Pierre is a little bit more like John Stewart, but I still think the characterization is off because again, he's hard-headed, but like again, he has that he had, I don't know the right word, but like he's hard-headed, but he's not like an asshole. Like he's not like the dumbass rookie who's just gonna do stupid shit because it would make his superior mad. Like I don't think he's gonna do that. He's still holds on to morale values and
like
it's you know,
it's like no, I agree, but like I feel like in this trailer, Aaron Pierre is almost like playing like a very 80s version of his character from that Netflix movie that he did. What was the movie that he did on Netflix?
Rebel Ridge.
Rebel Ridge, which it's just, I think that both characterizations, we got this very extreme version of it. It's like the trailer's dialogue is very, very like incisive.
It's like a punch
in maybe
to
the wrong way,
face.
punch to the face, and then like the visuals feel very like quote unquote grounded and more like leaning into the subtlety of it all. So there was a tonal mismatch in some ways, and
I
what
mean,
they're
of course.
I guess they're going for that whole Western look and feel, but. I mean, I personally thought that the Supergirl trailer, I think for the most part, is going to be okay because it's
I think it was
shots.
fun. It's just a little brown. That's all.
But like, and so I think they'll hopefully they'll improve that because a lot of people are like, oh, the Superman trailer is really blue, and then the movie comes out, and you're like, it's fine. But like Pacerland, I think making a good point too. Like if they went cosmic with the trailer, a lot of people might be complaining in the other direction. It's like too much like the Ryan Reynolds version of Lanterns, because everybody was comparing Supergirl to Guardians of the Galaxy. We understand what you mean by that, and I think that's a completely fair criticism. I mean, but it's like a what if thing, because there's a lot more nuance to all of these arguments. But at the same time, that's why we keep saying this is one trailer, and also at the end of the day, this is basically. Yes, and Pierre has been around for a while, a lot longer than most people give him credit for. Wasn't he also in like another DC project back in the day?
He was in Krypton.
Yes. So, but here's the thing. RDJ is going to be playing Doctor Doom this year, right? So we have seen Marvel and DC do off-type casting before, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes you get an Aquaman that makes $1 billion, you know? So like so we're not saying that this can't work. It's just, based on the limited looks that we have at it and all the other evidence of the different writers and creators of the show, including Tom King, Damon Lindelof and such, talking about it. Even some of them, like, even James Gunn himself, as well as one of the episodic directors, like he was talking about how they start off grounded and they go more cosmic. I'm just like, don't hold it back. It's like, I understand back in the day they used to do it because they were afraid of showing the comic book side of things. But like today, the audiences want that. And I understand maybe they hold it back in the teaser, but definitely give us more of that look as you go on. I think from a marketing standpoint, while the people on the internet will not make up the majority of the audience talking about this in terms of like who will watch and enjoy the show, I definitely feel like they need that narrative on their side. And I just, look, we're not in a bubble when we're talking about how the general narrative around the fandom for the Green Lantern show right now is mixed at best, kind of like Supergirl. And I think in both instances they need to maybe change the narrative somehow. I thought they did a good job of making progress towards that with the Crypto trailer. That was, it was a bit of a teaser trailer. It wasn't, again, a full trailer, but what they showed was definitely a huge improvement over what they did with Superman last year. And with Lanterns now, this trailer has been potentially I think this might be the version of the trailer that everybody saw those upfronts months ago. So whatever the next trailer is going to be, it needs to sort of change the narrative a little bit. So again, from a PR perspective, I just think that they've got some work to do, because you got to pull the people along, because you need the word of mouth to grow an audience on HBO Max when this show comes out. It is an HBO show, so I think we can trust that it will be good. It's just, I think it's also a matter of like, expectation versus reality. So we'll have to just keep our eyes peeled and see how it all turns out ultimately. I know we'll be talking about it and breaking. It's also when you talk about it 5 days a week, you kind of like put a microscope on it, and maybe, for the average person, they're like, good trailer. We'll worry about it when the show comes out in August, and you could leave it there. But if you're watching the show, then obviously we're diving into
it just feels
all
inconsistent.
the nooks and crannies. So
it just feels like there was a lot of green lighting of stuff, and I feel like they greenlit the project. They kind of went with it, and then they kind of realized, oh shit, this is probably not what we're going with, but we're kind of stuck with doing this, so they're just gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, this is good. This is gonna be again. This is the the what do they call, like, you reap what you sow, or like the fruits of their labor and stuff. James Gunn and Peter Safran have been hard at work, but as co-CEOs of a movie studio like DC Studios, we've only seen mostly James Gunn directed, written, and heavily influenced stuff so far. 2026 is a big test of what James Gunn, the movie studio chief, alongside, of course, Peter Safran, can produce. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be spoiled, but like from a marketing standpoint, if anything is going to sell tickets or get more people to subscribe to HBO Max in this instance, you do that. Like, that's marketing 101. Like, they made a big mistake by not telling the people to go see Justice League because Superman was in it, because half the people knew that was going to be coming back anyway. And then once the movie came out and didn't open as big, they were like, oh, so by the way, Superman is in every trailer because he returns, because Christ, anyway, whatever. So, yeah, like, there's a reason why they spent the most money on a movie marketing campaign of all time in Avengers Endgame, because you'd be like, that movie made like $2 billion in its sleep. Why would they spend hundreds of millions of dollars marketing it? Well, it's because you need to market even something as popular as an Avengers Endgame. So I think, like, I agree with the whole spoiler thing, but like, if that's a selling point for the show, particularly now with their narrative, if they do have a more comic accurate or closer to version of the suit, bring that in for the next trailer.
Yes.
Like, or give us a look with a poster or something like that.
Because we don't want to, we again, as you said, change the narrative. Yeah. Like, don't like fucking show the entire show. Don't show like, oh,
we don't
here's
want
episode 8 in
the
full.
Show.
We're not saying that. Just like, give us a little bit more. That's all.
Give us more. Yeah,
I understand. It's a teaser. But the thing is about teasers, it's supposed to whet our whistle a little bit. Right. And this isn't whetting my whistle. I'm drier than like, I don't know, a good metaphor. So, it just...
That's a perfect way of putting it. Yeah. But
drier at a fucking none.
No,
right now,
you could
just...
I would just leave it where you left it.
Yeah.
Don't need to go back and pick it up.
No.
But on that lovely note, I think we'll wrap it up for the night. We've just been talking for over 3 hours. Just Swag fans like, don't say it. But yeah, and well, we'll keep following Lanterns, of course, and we'll be here talking about it all tomorrow. Well, we'll do it all over again, and then we got Tier List Tuesday. We might have a slightly later start tomorrow because I'll be traveling up and down the East Coast during the course of the day. But no, we will be here. We got Tier List Tuesday. Don't forget to vote. Get into the community post section if you haven't already. Currently, the 2026 Best Picture nominees of the Oscars are the winning tier list option, but their Scream movies is coming in second. So yeah, we'll see you guys with DCU Daily, and then right after that, Tier List Tuesday. But yeah, hope you're all feeling better tomorrow, and then, as Ron would say, don't forget to fight for justice. We'll see you next time, another episode of DCU Daily.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
And remember, fuck Tom King. Fuck Jeff Snyder. Fuck David Ellison.
Right in the crack, anyway.